Okay, let's run.
Where do we begin?
A year ago, these cops and lawyers wouldn't dare cross any of you. I mean, what happened?
So what are you proposing?
It's simple. Kill the Batman. Here's my card.
Bruce, this is Harvey Dent.
Rachel's told me everything about you.
I certainly hope not. You once told me that we'd be together. Did you mean it?
Bruce, don't make me your only hope for a normal life.
You're Alfred, right?
That's right, sir.
Any psychotic ex-boyfriends I should be aware of?
Oh, you have no idea.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're tonight's entertainment. Well, hello, beautiful. You look nervous.
I've seen now what it would have to become to stop men like him.
The night is darkest just before the dawn. I promise you, the dawn is coming.
And here we go. This city deserves a better class of criminal. I'm gonna give it to him. No! You'll see. I'll show you.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Will you be wanting the back put, sir?
In the middle of the day, Alfred? Not very subtle.
The Lamborghini, then.
Much more subtle.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the 15th anniversary celebration of Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, starring Christian Bale, Aaron Eckhart, Heath Ledger, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Morgan Freeman, Gary Oldman, and a host of other incredible actors and actresses that take part in this epic, epic film. I am your host, Ryan of Nerd Culture. I am not alone in this celebration of The Dark Knight, directed by Christopher Nolan. Please welcome Batman superfan, I should say, a man who's got many faces. He also has a slick-looking Joker shirt on tonight. Austin's in the house. Austin, how you doing, man?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment. So yeah, no, looking forward to it, man. It's kind of crazy this movie's 15 years old. That kind of is nuts. Yeah, that's wacky to me. And I can still remember when I saw it, and I'm sure we'll talk about it the opening night. But yeah, this movie still holds my record for most times seen in a theater at 7. So yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. That is really good. And he is right on one account. We are tonight's entertainment because we're going to be your hosts for these festivities. But if you have any thoughts about this movie, positive, negative, or somewhere in between, anything about Batman you want to talk about, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. We're going to be bringing up some of those comments here on the screen as we go throughout the course of this show. And also, don't forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends. We're going to hit the play button in just a moment. But before we do ask that if you want to watch the movie along with us, you're more than welcome to queue it up on a physical media or a streaming service. We're going to be starting around the 2 or 3 second mark as I believe it's the Warner Brothers logo is coming up on screen and a cloud of blue smoke or black smoke, whatever. It's dark. This is a very dark.
The blue logo, the blue logo that when we saw it in the theater, we thought the sound was wrong because there was no sound yet until they start kicking in the the Hans Zimmer score at the beginning there.
The score, yes. So that's where we're going to be starting the film. But before we get to that, I want to give you an opportunity to get to know our panelists just a little bit better. So, Austin, for you go back. Let's wind the clock back a little bit here. 15 plus years ago, we hear the news that they are going to make a sequel to what is known as Batman Begins. And not only are they going to make a sequel, but they're going to cast a young teen heartthrob known as Heath Ledger, of all people, to play the clown Prince of Crime, also known as one of the biggest, most important villains in the history of comic book storytelling, if not cinematic history. Now, granted, we've had previous iterations of this character, whether it be in the comic books, whether it be with Cesar Romero from the 60s TV series. We had Mark Hamill voice him in the 90s animated series, and then we had, before that, we had Jack Nicholson play him on screen. So we haven't seen a live-action Joker at this point, anyway, since 1989's Tim Burton film, simply known as Batman. So when you heard the news that Heath Ledger was going to be cast, what was your thought on that? And number two is, what was it like seeing the movie known as The Dark Knight 15 years ago?
Yeah, those were the days of like IMDb message boards. So it was, when IMDb actually had message boards and you can scroll down and do that. And I wasn't really super familiar with the guy. So at the time, I wasn't one of those people, like, I really wasn't like people complaining. I was just like, okay, I mean, maybe he will bring something cool. He had won an Oscar, so I mean, I at least said that. I said, the guy's a good actor, and hey, give him a chance. Let's see what happens. And I think what happened was when they put out the second trailer, which was we really got a good glimpse of him visually, and actually got like his voice and things like that. Set photos started to come out what he looked like. I think we were like, whoa, this is going to be a really like different tone, because as we've seen throughout history, no one can live up to Nicholson, no one can live up to Ledger, no one can live up to this. It's like everybody has a different interpretation of the character and what you can do with that. So, and that's the great thing about the Joker is how many different versions you can have of him. There's not really a wrong version of what it is. It's so diverse. But winding the clock back to 2008, I remember this movie was just at a fever pitch of anticipation. It was the early days of YouTube, so the trailers had blown up all over the place. We obviously had the unfortunate death of Heath Ledger before the movie came out, so that only added kind of to the anticipation of seeing this guy's completed role and the buzz around it. People had a chance to really sit down and enjoy Batman Begins, because that movie wasn't as big a hit as people think it was, but people had come around to it since then. And I remember opening night, I went with a group of friends from work, and I'd actually had to go to the theater because we were all going to go together. I went to the theater a week before. This is before Fandango and your Regal apps, your AMC and whatever. And I had to go to the theater with a bunch of collection money that I picked up from everybody and go buy the block of tickets, a week before at the box office. So I did that after work one day. We had to I think we were going to a 10 p.m. show. The movie was on like almost every screen of the theater, from what I remember. It was the Cinemark Tinseltown 20 in Jacksonville, Florida. It started out on like 10 screens out of the 20, I think. But by the end of the night, there were so many people in the theater, they added it to like 4 more theaters, and they added 3 a.m. shows. And people waited around till 3 a.m. to watch it. But we got into our 10 p.m. show. I got there about 2 hours early to hold spots. We were kind of on those like side seats, but we were up, enough to where we weren't sitting in the front row. And I just remember this buzz in the theater. The movie went on. It was everything we thought it would be, and probably even more, obviously. And we just kind of sat in awe once the movie was over with. And I was telling Ryan before the show that this movie still holds my record of having seen it 7 times in theaters, 6 during the initial run, and then about 6 months later, they did a re-release in IMAX, and I saw it again for a 7th time. I may have even seen it one other time a couple years ago when they showed it in IMAX again or something like that, for like the 10th anniversary or something. But I know I saw it 3 times opening weekend, and then subsequently 3 more times over the next couple weeks. And it's really something, man. But it's a movie that's worth it, obviously, with the reputation it still has today.
Yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from, and thank you for sharing that with us. We greatly appreciate it. For me, when I heard the news that Heath Ledger was going to be portraying the Joker, I thought, wait a minute, the guy from Knight's Tale, the guy from, I think he was in The Patriot, something like, I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Like, no, he's a pretty boy. He's got blonde hair. That's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And then the trailers started coming out, and I saw the trailer, and we all saw the trailers going back to 2008, and I thought, oh my gosh, is Heath Ledger even in this movie? I don't even see him. Where is he? I don't know what's going on. This is very weird to me. I don't get it. And then we heard about the unfortunate passing of Heath Ledger. Once again, rest in peace to the incredible Heath Ledger, gone far, 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 far too soon. And I remember seeing this movie in the theater. You were right. There was a fever pitch. Everyone was jacked up and excited. We were very curious to see how this was going to go down. What could Heath Ledger? Like, the trailers are one thing, but when you see it in its entirety and you see how this actor becomes a character, it's a transformation. It really is. And when I saw this movie in the theater, I was creeped out of my mind. I actually looked at the screen and I'm thinking to myself, this isn't so much the Joker, it's the devil. It is like evil craziness, anarchy incarnate, like looking you in the eyes and saying, I'm here and I'm going to destroy everything you hold dear, no matter what it takes. And my goodness, what a film it was. Way back when, incredible stuff. I think I saw it maybe 2 or 3 times in the theater. I think my brother wanted to see it one time, and I saw it with him, and he was blown away. He couldn't believe it, and I thought, yeah, man, this is extreme. This is very different from the Batmans that we grew up watching. This is extremely different. But hey, you needed something different to bring to the table, and that's what Christopher Nolan and his creative team back there at Warner Brothers did. So with that being said, strap yourselves in and queue up your copy on a physical media or streaming service, because we're going to start this thing at the 3-second mark. You guys ready to go? You ready to go, Austin?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's get it rolling.
All right, we're going to hit play in 3, 2, 1, and go. Here goes our feature presentation of The Dark Knight. Join us, watch along with us, share your thoughts in the comments. Bring it on in the chat. What do you think about this movie? What are some of the things you like, maybe not so like about this movie? What are some of your favorite things about the Batman character? Maybe some of your favorite comic books that are Batman centered. Maybe some of your favorite Joker comic books. Let us know any and all your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and share.
Do you still
this.
think that it is the gold standard of what a comic book movie can be 15 years later? You know, there's a debate on that. Is it still the gold standard? I mean, you see it, you know, movies get compared to The Dark Knight still 15 years later. So, you know, is it still that standard? You know, remember, this movie also helped inspire the expansion of the Best Picture thing from 5 to up to 10, if you remember right, because there was such a campaign to get this movie nominated for Best Picture when it didn't happen. So, and you know, it's definitely one of those things. But we get our I remember, I went out to a place called the World Golf Village and saw this in the full IMAX, because Nolan had pushed that he had filmed almost half an hour of this movie in IMAX. And seeing this opening scenes, this was all in IMAX. And remember, if you remember right, they put this in front of I Am Legend as well in some IMAX screenings the year before. They showed this entire sequence. And then later on, I also saw when he did Dark Knight Rises, they put the plane sequence in front of, I can't remember which movie, but in front of another movie as well. So that also helped with the anticipation, because people also got their first glimpse of Heath Ledger, who went to those IMAX screenings and got to see at least a taste of it. A little bit, not much, but a taste of it, you know, at the end of it.
That's very true. Before I get to your question, respectively, I want to acknowledge our good friends here in the chat. Dave Manley is here. He says, I still think Batman Begins is the best within the trilogy, but I agree that this is quite good.
You're not alone. I know several people in my kind of community that like Batman Begins a lot, and there's nothing wrong with Batman Begins. I mean, that's one of the great things about this trilogy of movies. I know people who like Rises the most, you know, out of the trilogy. I mean, but they're all great movies. So it's like saying, you know, Alien or Aliens, Terminator T2, you know, like, you know, which one, you know, you get a franchise that has multiple great movies. Right, people are going to see different ones. There's not really a right or wrong answer. But.
And Ryan Robinson, who we just had on, and I quote, this past weekend, he's here. He says, what's up? Good to see you, Ryan. Hope everything's well in your neck of the woods. Let us know some of your favorite Batman movies or comics in the chat here, Ryan. And Dave Manley goes on to say, favorite Batman actors. Number 1 for him is Adam West. Number 2 for him is Kevin Conroy. Rest in peace to the great Kevin Conroy. Number 3 is Christian Bale. And then number 4 is Ben Affleck. Okay. All right. I can respect that list. I can respect it. By the way, no offense, Dave, but hashtag Adam West is not my Batman. That's a parody. But Kevin Conroy I can get with. Christian Bale, obviously. And Ben Affleck, you know what, man? I wish he would have gotten his own Bat trilogy. I wish he would have gotten his own
Bat, at least his own solo movie, at least one.
Yeah, because at certain points in the studio, people were talking, Ben Affleck was supposed to star, write, and direct his own Batman movie, and I still would have liked to have seen that.
William Fichtner has such a sort of thankless role in the scene, but I remember watching this in the theater and going like, hey, it's Colonel Sharp from Armageddon. Like, that's cool.
or it's one of the antagonists from Heat.
When are we doing the 25th anniversary watch along of Armageddon, by the way, Ryan? That's the 25th anniversary.
Yeah, we're not
Come on,
that.
man.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like Armageddon. You
But
got
it's such a cool.
you know what, Austin? You have space dementia because I don't understand people's obsession with that movie.
Hey, that movie's a lot of fun. Great catch.
I've seen better Michael Bay movies, but
You and your friends are dead.
You
No,
and
William
your friends
Fichtner brings such a cool like sort of gravitas to this, like I said, this very kind of thankless, quick role. But he because he's one of those character actors that even if you don't know his name, you recognize him and you go like, oh, that guy. He must be. Is he in the rest of the movie? No, not really. Okay, but still, like, Nolan's, and we see this with Oppenheimer, which I just saw yesterday. But he puts a lot of great actors in these little, sort of quick roles, in a scene or two. But yeah, I mean, getting a guy like Fichtner, a nice character actor there.
I did not know this, by the way, Austin. Dave Manley points out, you probably know that the mask that the Joker is wearing in the scene here is the same that the Batman 66 Joker wore in his very first appearance.
Oh, yeah. Cesar Romero right there, baby. I like Cesar Romero. Yeah, it's definitely an homage to Romero's Joker.
I was not aware of that.
You can see pictures on it, except for that one. I think he's wearing like the clown like expansion or whatever, and like a hat. But yeah, you can see the pictures of it online. It's a he's wearing a mask very, very similar to that.
That's interesting. I was not aware of that. And then Ryan Robinson chimes in. He says, my favorite Batman actors are the following: Keaton, Conroy, Ben Affleck, and Bale are my top Batmen. Okay. I respect that. Good list.
He's my guy. Batman 89 will always be my favorite Batman movie in my heart. But but Keaton and probably Affleck and then Conroy, something like that. But Conroy's great. But only because Conroy only got to play it once really in real life on that CW thing or whatever for like a minute. But yeah.
What, the Gotham Knights?
Whatever that little episode where he played the older Batman, he was in the suit for like.
Oh, you mean Kevin Conroy? That was a Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah. So they at least wouldn't have one spot in the live action, which is cool. Oof. And there we go. There he
kill
is.
you makes you stranger. It's like, it's like when he reveals himself, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, the Joker he's not wasting any time. He is already here. He's not waiting until the halfway mark of this movie.
Yeah.
He's not wasting any time. And then he puts
poor William Fichtner is going to get his head blown off, and it's just like a smoke grenade or whatever.
It's like a smoke grenade, like tear gas, maybe.
It's like a tear gas smoke kind of grenade.
It just kind of like smokes his.
And then there's a nice reveal of the line of buses. So
all the kids are on those buses. Not his bus.
And then we get this nice little sort of, it's almost like a montage, kind of catching us up with what's been going on in Gotham since Batman Begins. That there's crime has gone down a little bit.
We're here. He's doing good. Criminals are running scared.
Yeah, criminals are running scared. Yeah, they're having second thoughts about things.
You got more chance of winning the Powerball than running into him.
Yeah.
And who'd have thought the Breakfast Club Zone, Anthony Michael Hall plays a GCN.
By the way, on the Blu-ray or the DVDs, there's a whole section where there's more of those like fake interviews that he does with different people involved in the movie. You can see these sort of extra things they filmed with Anthony Michael Hall as that news character or whatever, where he interviews that attorney or the mayor. He interviews the Commissioner Loeb guy, the one who gets assassinated
later.
He interviews a couple of different people. Like there's these like full news interviews that they scripted out, and they're pretty cool. Not that they were going to be in the movie, but they're just fun little supplemental things. So I remember asking Anthony Michael Hall about that on a panel one time.
Oh yeah, I've met him once. He's a nice guy. I signed my Breakfast Club Criterion Collection Blu-ray.
Yeah,
very nice man. He actually said to me, when you turn movie critic and like start writing up stuff, dude, send it to me. I want to read it. It's like, oh, thanks, Anthony. Yeah. I appreciate that. Nice dude. And then he also goes on to say, Dave Mattingly says, William Fichtner always reminds me of Judson Scott. Not quite sure who that is, but all right, Dave.
I don't know Judson Scott.
Judson Scott. Not sure who that is.
Yeah, I didn't expect it because I remember not hearing that Cillian Murphy was going to come back in this movie for this spot right here. So it was kind of cool to see him when he pops up in the scene.
Yeah, I mean, he did it. I mean, at the end of the movie, what was it? Gordon says in the first film, he says, we haven't rounded up half the people that Crane freed from the asylum. We haven't found him yet either. We will. We can bring Gotham back. Oh, Dave Manley says Judson Scott was Khan's number 2 guy in Star Trek. Okay. Judson Scott was Khan's number 2. Okay, fair enough. Didn't know we were going to mention Star Trek here on this show, but we did.
Star Trek will always come up.
Star Trek's always going to come up somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
How many I mean, there's... I'm trying to think. How many is there now? 13 movies, probably 8 or 9 TV series.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's a lot. Star Trek is very heavy. Anyway, Scarecrow's here, and he says, that's not Batman. These 3 guys, those aren't Batman. That's more like it.
Yeah.
Shows up with the tumbler.
Mm-hmm.
Loitering.
Yeah, loiter mode. That's always fun.
Loiter, and then intimidate.
Yeah.
Oh, let's just blast a few walls out of this garage, or let's blast a few cars, or what is it, trucks maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Oh, Dave Manley, you got more fun facts here for us, brother. Dave Manley goes on to say, this is David
Desmalchian. Yeah.
Malchian's first movie role. He's gone on to
Schiff.
play 2 DC characters and 2 Marvel characters on the big screen. And who would those characters be?
He's an Ant-Man. He's in the Suicide Squad.
Nice.
Yeah, he's I'm blanking on the other ones, but yeah, he's one of the team in the Ant-Man movies, and then yeah, he's the Polka Dot Man in that Suicide Squad movie.
Oh yeah.
And then he's recently in Oppenheimer as well. I saw him in the Boogeyman this year.
Oh, the Boogeyman.
Yeah, he's
been everywhere.
Yeah, he's made he was an addict. He was like a struggling addict, and this was like his role. And yeah, he doesn't even have any lines. He just has like that kind of laugh and kind of that freak out moment. But yeah, it did a lot for his career.
No kidding.
So yeah.
Wow. Early moments of this movie, we're already learning so.
Oh, don't hurt your ankles. Oh, that's gotta hurt your feet right there. No wonder his knees are all screwed up.
In Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises, yeah, when you're jumping, 3 stories down onto a car, that can't be good for you.
Not my diagnosis. By the way, Dave Manley says DC, he played a Joker thug, Polka Dot Man, and then Marvel, he was Ant-Man's partner, Veb. Okay. That's who that actor was. There you go.
Yeah.
That answers that question. Thank you, Dave Manley. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Always go with the fun facts. This Dave Manley, fan of ours, very good friend of our show.
Mm-hmm.
Empty bank, no money. What's he hiding under that makeup?
Mm-hmm. How the hell did Batman get in there? He's such a ninja.
Can you give us a minute, please?
Yeah.
Him again. Who are the others? Another bunch of small timers.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the marked bills I gave you. My detectives have been making drug buys with them, but this bank was another drop for the mob. That makes 5. You have to hit all banks simultaneously with SWAT teams.
And that will be Ryan Permerson sent me a copy of the script. We'll be doing a table read tonight.
I got closed captioning on, man.
Yeah,
so.
No, I do too.
I got the closed captioning on here on set. And Dave Manley says, you want to know how I got these scars?
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah.
There you go, Dave. We haven't gotten there yet, man. We haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, no, we'll get there. We'll talk about that because are any of his stories true? Are they all true?
I mean, maybe.
Or are they not? Are none of them true? We don't know.
Private property, no trespassing. So the sign says.
Well, because if you remember, the house caught on fire, so we've got to have our little different underground layer, and then our penthouse.
He's got the giant freaking penthouse.
Yeah,
which is a really nice penthouse, by the way. I think it looks really nice, in my opinion. But
the only thing that would be a pain about living in the penthouse would be like if you have to transport furniture up there and like you got to go up 30 stories to take your groceries. You got to get what I have, those big giant Amazon reusable bags that can hold like 40 pounds worth of groceries. So you don't have to make multiple trips.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I can get with you on that one. Dave Manley says his lair away from lair.
Yeah. Cosplay.
His lair away from lair. Nice one, Dave. I love it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. I need to be I'm sure Mr. Fox is going to oblige, sir.
Well, at least they acknowledge that, he gets hurt during this thing.
He's not immortal,
Yeah, he's
he can be hurt.
Yeah, he gets cut, he gets bruised.
He gets bruised on his back, which you're going to see here in a moment, I believe. Or no, later on in the movie you do. Mm-hmm. Not in this scene.
Ryan, why don't you hire them and take the weekend off?
Look at the new district attorney. I am closely. Need to know if he could be trusted.
I remember there was a bunch of kind of fake ad campaigns.
Yeah, we believe in Harvey Dent.
Yeah. There was a thing that went online about that. All these posters. There were stickers they were giving away at different events. Yeah, they did a great job, sort of doing some different types of marketing for this movie. Yeah, with the Harvey Dent stuff and some of the Joker stuff. Like it was.
Know your
pretty
limits,
cool for what it was.
Master Wayne. Batman has no limits. Well, you do, sir. Well, can't afford to know him. What's going to happen on the day you find out? We know how much you like to say I told you so. On day, Master Wayne. Even I won't want to. Probably. He's a very good Alfred in this movie.
Yeah,
I mean, he's just a
Michael
great Alfred, period. But Michael Caine does such a great job in this trilogy.
And it's such a weird thing. This is like the last gasp of Eric Roberts before he went back to Redbox DVD purgatory.
Redbox.
Yeah.
Jeez, you know, Dave Mattingly brings up something here. He says, "Do you bleed?" Yeah, something's definitely bleeding. Oh, Dave, you and your thoughts.
See now, quick thing about Aaron Eckhart. Now that we've been kind of introduced to him.
Oh
on
yes,
screen,
Harvey Dent.
See, I was familiar with Aaron Eckhart going to this movie because I'm a big Jason Reitman fan, and he was the star of Thank You for Smoking from 2005, and I had seen that in theaters, and so I was a big fan of Aaron Eckhart going into this one, and I was like, oh, he's a great actor, like he'll make a great, Harvey, because in the Thank You for Smoking thing, he's like a spokesperson for the tobacco, lobby, and he does these talk shows and everything. I was like, he's got a great kind of big personality, so he's pretty cool. And what Harvey says right here is correct. Yeah, don't buy Chinese guns. Yeah, buy American. Okay, that's that. I have Ruger.
He's a fall guy. I'm the brains of the operation. I mean, that's where I am in the movie. But anyway,
Chinese guns.
Yeah, but for those of you just joining us, we are celebrating what is known as the 15th anniversary of The Dark Knight here at Nerd Culture Channel. Don't forget to like and share this with every single person that you know. And if you want to watch the movie along with us, feel free to queue up your copy in a physical media or what is known as a streaming service. You can watch the movie along with us. Austin,
we're about at 15 and a half minutes there, 15:30. We're wrapping up. We're wrapping up. Harvey just haymaker the dude right in the face who tried to kill him. Yeah, so we're wrapping that up.
Mm-hmm.
They're not trying to, Ryan, if they're not trying to kill you, you're not doing your job right.
Yeah, come on, Harvey. You're not getting shot at. You're not doing your job right. That's true.
So Maggie Gyllenhaal, yay or nay? The recast of Kate Holmes.
It worked for me. It's fine. It felt like, you got to bring in a different actress. She went on that wild ride with Tom Cruise for a couple of years. So, she got caught up. But no, Maggie Gyllenhaal does a great job here. And to answer your question from a moment ago, I didn't get a chance to answer this sooner. I apologize for that. But as far as the setting the benchmark for how to make a comic book based movie, I mean, this movie's good. It's a really good film. It's definitely one of the all-time goods, if not one of the all-time greats. I don't know if I would consider it to be like the benchmark, because I think there are a few other comic book movies that are slightly better than this. But that's not to be a slight against The Dark Knight. It's just that I think that we've had some other films that have come out in the last 10 years that have done things just a little bit better, or for me anyway, I'm thinking to myself, if you're going to make a comic book movie with this amount of characters, this is how you do it. I mean, I think differently.
Well, I think it's a good model as far as how to make one
more grounded one.
Well, if you're gonna make a ground, because not every comic movie has to be grounded in reality. Obviously, it's a comic book movie. I mean,
doesn't have to be grounded in reality.
But if you're gonna make one, this got a lot of comparisons to Heat, which we see a couple of cast members here who were in Heat, as we said, William Fichtner. But as far as making like a crime movie that just happens to have wacky, people that dress up in clown outfits and bad outfits and things, but nobody's doing anything superhuman or supernatural or anything like that. So as far if you're making an adaptation of something, definitely set kind of in a more grounded reality for sure. But you still see that get thrown around as far as The Dark Knight, every other movie getting compared to it or whatever. So it just feels like it was one of those things because of all the hype that was around it, and people thinking it should have been nominated for Best Picture, things like that. So
no, I get that. And Dave Manley goes on to say that's one way of deliver a closing argument in court. And he goes on to say, I'm happy with the recasting with Maggie Gyllenhaal taking over the role.
I am too.
She was great. I thought Maggie Gyllenhaal was great. And then Dave Manley goes on to say, this is something that's interesting. He says, Gary Oldman is my favorite iteration of Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
That's fair, because honestly, I mean, he's so good in this, and he also kind of reminds me just a little bit of the 92 animated series version, and he also reminds me of the graphic novel. I think it was Batman Year One. Commissioner Gordon
He's
from.
definitely better than Pat Hingle in those movies. Who's a
He didn't really do
buffoon.
anything.
Yeah, I know. Who has like the worst police force? Batman, I need help cleaning up Gotham. Batman, just really incompetent.
And I know this movie gets. I know this movie doesn't have a lot of fans out there. I mean, I like it, but in my opinion, really, and this is something I didn't understand, even though this may have happened in the comics. I'm not sure if this did or not because I haven't read all the. There's trillions of Batman comics. I can't read all of those. But my question is, how can Commissioner Gordon just be like, okay, Robin, you lost your family last night because Two-Face killed him. Now I'm just going to drive you up to Bruce Wayne's house. Like, and then he says to Bruce in that movie, Batman Forever, he says he's been filling out papers all day. He hasn't slept. He hasn't even eaten. I'm going to have to take him in. He doesn't have anyone now. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean take him in, though? In that movie, he's a grown man. He's over 18.
Well, yeah. But I'm still thinking to myself, like, I don't know. It was just a little weird for me. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's neither I still like Batman Forever. I still like that movie. But when he shows up to Wayne Manor with, like, no cause or whatever, and Commissioner Gordon's like, we're gonna need you to take him in because he doesn't have anyone now. He's been filling out paperwork all day. He hasn't slept.
Why do I have to take in a grown man?
And then Bruce is probably thinking, why? I don't know.
Yeah, why? Well, it would make more sense if he was like a 12-year-old kid, like he is in the original iteration.
Yeah, I don't know. I just found that weird in Batman Forever, but I still like the movie.
He's like 20, in that movie. It's weird.
He's like 22 in the movie, but I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, I still like Batman Forever. If you guys don't, that's fine. Hey, to each their own.
Well, and Batman and Robin, I've grown to appreciate as just this weird, like, but as this like
as a drinking game,
fun anomaly, like just goofy.
Dude, it ruined Batman.
Well, but think about this though. Did it though? Because without the sort of crazy off-the-wall failure of Batman and Robin, we wouldn't get Batman Begins. We would have had Batman Vengeance, which would have been the next Joel Schumacher movie in the early 2000s. So they would have kept that series going because that movie didn't bomb. It made money. But the backlash against it, from the hardcore fans. So think about that. Appreciate Batman and Robin for the fact that it gave us the Nolan trilogy.
Maybe I'll sit down one night this week or one day this week and watch Batman and Robin again. I don't know.
It's fun to I watched it a lot when I was a kid because I had it on VHS. So
me too. I watched all of them when I was a kid.
I mean, I could quote the entire movie start to finish, but just because I watched it so many damn times.
Let's kill the dinosaurs, the Ice Age. Anyway, God. But anyway, we're learning more about the characters of Bruce Wayne and Harvey Dent in these scenes here. What if Harvey Dent was the Caped Crusader? And Dave Battley goes on to say, the motion pictures Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk came out just a few weeks.
I remember. Incredible Hulk got sandwiched because Incredible Hulk was literally 2 weeks before Dark Knight. It was 2 weeks before the Dark Knight
came out in June.
And it got kind of squashed, but I really like the Incredible Hulk. I
love that movie.
I wanted to join y'all for that watch along. I was too tired. I had other things going on, but
you were tied up. But that was a lot of fun.
It was great. I love that movie a lot.
I love that movie. 100%. Love the Incredible Hulk. I think it's a criminally underrated comic book film.
And here we get it. We're gonna get our first big.
We got the TV set.
Heath Ledger scene.
As most of you are aware, a relatively small amount, 68 million. Who's stupid enough to steal from us?
Michael Jai White, that's my boy. There we go. Michael Jai White. That's my boy Black Dynamite right there.
Dynamite. There you go.
And we all know, come on, Michael Jai White would have beat the shit out of the Joker in real life. But
for sure.
Michael Jai White's a legit badass. But
it's cool.
Character.
It's cool that they brought him in here to make up for not something that was not his fault with what happened with the movie Spawn.
Yeah, right.
So wasn't his fault though.
Hell, he could do Spawn. He could do Spawn now.
He can. He's still got it.
Yeah, he still got it.
He still got it. I would love to see him take another stab at it.
Yeah,
he's been in so many different. He's played so many different characters over the years.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for that Spawn movie, but the effects are terrible. But the effects are terrible.
Nah. I mean, there are parts of it that I do like, especially the ballroom scene where he says, "Where you're going every day is Halloween."
It's one of those guilty pleasures. I have a lot of like those '90s comic book movies that are guilty pleasure, just fun watch. It's a fascinating time for comic book movies. Like
that is for sure. That is for sure.
Really, really interesting. When I love the Phantom the most, more than damn near anybody.
I love it. Yeah, I like the Phantom, and I thought my jokes were bad. Give me one reason why I shouldn't have my boy here pull your head off. How about a magic trick?
So I remember the reaction to this in the theater the first time we all saw this, and we were like, "What the hell is this pencil thing?" And then when he pulled that thing, we didn't hear the dialogue for the next minute because the whole crowd was just like a combination of half laughing, half gasping. This thing we had to kind of catch up with the movie because we were all just like, "Oh my god!" Like that was out of nowhere. But yeah, this scene is a master class in like reactionary acting and physical acting. Just the little nuance. You could study this scene in a film class about just the way he delivers some of these lines, the little things where Gamble goes freak and he's like, I'm not. He does like the little
No,
the hesitation thing. Yeah, like it's so good.
Group therapy sessions in broad daylight.
Yeah.
I know why you're afraid to go out at night. The Batman. I mean, this whole scene just creeped me the freak out, man.
And I think
creepy.
anybody that had reservations about Heath Ledger in the theater after this scene was over, I think
it's really good.
Had to be all in by the end of this 3 or 4 minutes or whatever it is. Like, there's no doubt, and you just were. It was almost like you were waiting just for the next scene for him to show up. But the great thing about this movie is that he feels like he is looming over the entire movie, much like Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs is only in the movie for like 18 minutes or whatever it is, but he kind of looms over the entire movie, which is very similar to here. He's in enough of the scenes where you always feel like he's kind of in the background, ready to strike. He's always somewhere.
No, I'm
what's
not.
great about it.
No,
I'm not. I'm not.
And then Dave Manley goes on to say, Joker can make a pencil disappear, but John Wick can kill 3 men with it.
Yeah.
So you put Joker against John Wick's going to win that one.
No, John Wick will win that one very easily.
For sure. Which reminds me, I still have to see John Wick Chapter 4. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet? Get
No, man. I haven't seen any of the newer stuff. I haven't seen any of it. I got to sit back and sit down and watch it.
I've got 49 new releases under my belt so far.
Jeez, man.
I'm keeping track. Yeah.
Good for you. At least you keep a list.
I don't do Letterboxd, but I do them on my note app. I keep track.
There you go. That's what notepads are for. Here's my card.
Yeah, I don't do the Letterboxd thing. I don't like that app. But anyways,
here's my card.
Yeah. But I got hyped because when I saw
so creepy.
When I saw Michael Jai White, because I was a big fan of like I said, I had a soft spot.
Black Dynamite.
And Black Dynamite came out around the same time. I had it on
Your
DVD.
Hard Man to Reach.
There's a movie called Blood and Bone that's a lot of fun.
Oh, really?
You did, yeah.
Interesting. I never heard of that one, I don't think.
That's got some fun fight scenes.
If you had asked, I could have taken his passport. All that left was in the vault were marked bills. They knew we were coming. As soon as your office got involved, my office.
This scene was the one they showed on the press tour a lot, on the interview shows. They showed this scene a whole lot.
Oh, okay.
It was either Gary Oldman, Bale, or Aaron Eckhart doing press. They always showed this scene. So I saw the scene a lot before the movie came out. I will say this about this movie. This movie's great, and I could watch it any time. I do think the Hong Kong sequence is a tad unnecessary. And I've kind of grown to think that the more I go on, that it's really only there
for the IMAX,
just to give us another Batman scene. Really, like it's really the only purpose is to give us another kind of Batman action scene, because realistically, you could have had that scene and then cut to Lau, like, handcuffed outside of the commissioner's office or whatever, and with a note on it, and that Batman got him. Like, you don't really need to see that overall. Like, you just know that he would have gotten him, because they say that anyways. Joker says, Batman will find him and make him squeal, so it's a cool sequence, like visually. And again, they did a lot of really cool stunt stuff, and they had a guy really diving off buildings and things, and
which is crazy.
It's crazy, and it's well shot and all that. But I think the more and more you look into it, you could have probably cut the 10-minute sequence, and it really wouldn't affect the story that much overall. It's just kind of there to show some more bat tech, essentially.
Bat Tech. I recommend reading the
Yeah.
instructions first. And for those of you who maybe want to know what the instructions are, we are celebrating what is known as the 15th anniversary of The Dark Knight, one of the greatest comic movies ever made in the history of filmmaking. If you're just joining us and want to watch the movie along with us on a physical media or streaming service, please do so. Let us know your thoughts about this movie, your favorite Batman comics, maybe not so favorite Batman movies. Like, let us know anything and everything in the Batman universe is fair game tonight. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Don't forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends. Austin, where are we at in the film?
Yeah, we are approaching the 29-minute mark here as they are prepping to go to Hong Kong. So here at the Dark Knight, and the performance has been canceled, Ryan, of the Russian ballet because Bruce, a billionaire, absconds with the Russian ballet.
Billionaire absconding. That's right. And Dave Manley goes on to say the billionaire high altitude spelunking crowd.
It must be a thing. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, Dave. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Who knows? But we'll leave that up to you, to someone else to figure out. You look tired, Alfred. You'll be all right without me, right?
Put on your own damn.
If you tell me the Russian for apply your own bloody suntan lotion.
Yeah.
I mean, although if I'm on a boat with 15 beautiful women, I'm not gonna, say no.
I'm not going to either.
I would be chill about it, Hey, Gamble, somebody here for you. They say they just killed the Joker.
Yeah.
They brought the body.
Yeah, bullshit. I would have checked for a pulse immediately.
Yeah. Not the best shady goon squad here, right?
Yeah,
fellas?
he's not the most intelligent guy. It's like, well, and also here's a clue: dead people don't close their eyes. That's the thing, by the way, unless you close them for them.
How about alive?
Yeah. And here's the first of the Scar stories that we don't know which one's
so
true.
Creepy.
But yeah, the father story. My father, I like that he uses the word fiend. It's such a weird. Like, I've always liked the word fiend.
In a fiend. And one night he goes off crazier than usual. Every time this character spoke,
yeah,
I got creeped out every time.
Well, and after that first scene, again, I'm going back a lot to that first screening, but I remember it so vividly. Every time he came on screen after that opening where he's talking to the mob, or not the opening of the movie, but his first big scene, we were hanging on every word. The rest of the you could feel the crowd, just like every time you see him on screen, they would shut up and listen to everything he said, and we're all in on the performance, and we could feel something special happening. You know what I mean, with that thing. So yeah, deservedly so. Great performance, obviously. I mean, that's, who hasn't said that a million times, but yeah, I like this little bit where he's like, we're gonna have tryouts.
Did he? But my question is, because we don't see it because they kind of skip over it. Did he stab Gamble like in the mouth or in the?
He like cut his like cheek or whatever. Like, I think he ripped the knife like through his cheek or something. We just don't really see it.
Okay.
But which I don't think would kill you. I mean, we see Costas Mandalore go through way worse with the bear trap that he escapes out of with his jaw hanging off of his mouth, at the end of that one, and it didn't kill him. So yeah, I don't know. He might have.
That was kind of a really quick death scene, so to speak.
Yeah, and I don't know if it'd be necessarily a death, but they could have killed him afterwards.
Because when he recruited the guy, says we're gonna have tryouts.
That could be including Gamble. To be fair,
it's true.
If he can get his wits about himself.
Gonna have to ask you to check in your mobile.
Your mobile.
Yeah. Of course. Drops it in on him. Like, yeah, sure. I must apologize for leading Gotham in the middle of our negotiations. And this actor has been in tons of stuff. He's been in the CW. He's been in the CW verse too.
He's this Lau guy, he's also in the MCU. He's one of the
he's been around a lot.
He's one of the council people you see like the holograms of when they're deciding.
Captain America, Winter Soldier. But he's also in the Avengers and one of the council guys that votes to nuke New York. With Powers Booth. Yeah.
You
remember that?
So, Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's been in a lot of movies. This guy gets around. He has a really extended what do you call it?
Filmography.
And Dave Manley goes on to say, my favorite Joker has to be Mark Hamill.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, a lot of people have made that statement. A lot of people have said that. And it's not a bad call.
It's great.
Because he's played the Joker longer than anyone, let's be honest. I mean, the guy played Joker for like 30 years.
But again, in my heart, I'm a Batman '89 guy, so I'll kind of always say Nicholson just because I
Nicholson,
think he's having so
gentlemen,
much
let's
fun.
broaden our
It's
minds.
just
Lawrence.
every one of his lines is so quotable in that movie. He's great.
I mean,
He's
Austin,
just so
where
much
do they
fun.
get a load of me?
Hey,
Ooh,
Ryan,
hoop. Yes.
Ryan, come on. I mean, 35th anniversary next year of Batman
Oh,
'89.
that's right. It's the
Gotta
35th.
do
We're
it.
going to be doing that. Yes.
We better do that, and don't you dare do it without me, because that's my
No,
movie
we
right
can
there.
have. We're gonna have some people on there. We can have you
Oh
on
yeah,
on set for that one. That would be June. What is it? 14, 13, somewhere. It's early or mid June. It's one of the two.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that up because we need to do a 35th. I mean, 35th. Look at what movies are celebrating the 35th anniversary next year. You got what is it? Batman '89. You got Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Which is my
Ghost.
favorite, Indy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me too. You got Ghostbusters 2. You got Back to the Future Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so many flipping good movies came out in '89, man.
Mm-hmm.
We got some anniversaries we got to plan for next year. I'm not against doing one for what is it, Back to the Future Part 2, because I like I like 1 and 3 more than 2, but I'm still willing
I like part two a lot. I think part two is a ton of fun. And
well, especially Biff is the best. So
he's the
or
best,
Griff,
yeah.
Biff or Griff, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Chicken McFly. Anyway,
Yeah.
when someone has that device on their vest, and they're like,
So when somebody has their own sound effects machine on their person, yeah, that's
I
interesting.
mean, come on, dude. And by the way, power laces, all right. Like, anyway, we're gonna be doing some what do you call it? 35th anniversary celebrations for next year. Just so we're clear, what is it? Batman '89 is next year, so we're looking
Next
forward
year,
to that.
yeah, we got to do that for sure.
Which Austin, myself, and probably a few other people are going to want to chime in on that movie.
No, that movie's great. Yeah,
We're
that
gonna
movie's awesome.
Yeah. Well, at least we know for sure that Austin and I are going to be in the studio for that
Oh,
one.
hell yeah, hell yeah.
So we'll be on set for you. And for those of you who are wondering, we may be talking about Batman '89 for next year, but we are celebrating what is known as the Dark Knight right now. And if you want to join us, feel free to do so. Physical media streaming service. And don't forget to like and share this with every single person that you know. If you have any feelings about this movie or something that involves the character of Batman or some of your favorite rogues gallery of villains for Batman, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat, because we are enjoying each and every single one of you who are either watching or listening to this and sharing your thoughts in those comments. We are loving it.
35, 37. Batman's about to glide into this building and grab Lau. Yeah, make his big entrance here.
And there you go.
Yeah.
There's your timestamp. If you want to keep your copy in physical media or a streaming service, please do so.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's really just, this scene's just a Bat showcase essentially. But yeah,
Where he's got high-tech toys.
Yeah, it's still cool. Like I said, I don't mind the scene. I just think you could make a cut of this movie where you cut directly from like that rooftop thing to Lau sort of in custody on the steps, and I don't think it would take away a lot from the movie. You know, I think it would still be fine. But you know, it's still a Bat showcase, so it's fine. I mean, it's a great moment when he gets picked up by the Skyhook. Like, all that stuff is great.
Because it's Batman. By the way, Dave Manley says, my favorite Batman villain is the Creeper. Is that a real villain?
He's a real villain. He's like a C tier kind of villain. But yeah,
I've never heard. I don't think. Have I heard of?
He's on the level of like Calendar Man and things like that.
Have I heard of the Creeper?
Yeah.
Like, didn't he show up in the animated series?
Probably. Everybody.
I don't know. Dave, let me know if he showed up in the animated series or not, because the Creeper sounds somewhat, maybe a little familiar. I can't place it, but feel free to let us know the history of the character known as the Creeper. By the way, that's it's a cheesy name for a villain. But then again, there are lots of names that you can argue that are cheesy, but they work for the comic book media.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Calendar Man, that's
Calendar Man
cheesy and over the top. I mean, the Riddler is cheesy and over the top, but it works.
I mean, Poison Ivy's pretty on the nose,
Pamela Isley, anybody?
Yeah.
That's
Mr. Freeze. I mean, that's kind of silly in concept, but yeah, I mean,
but then again, Mr. Freeze is one of the better villains of Batman.
No, he's great, gallery. But yeah, it's still like the name is pretty on the nose.
It's cheesy, but at the same time, like, he's one of the better villains.
But when his name is Victor Freeze, it's like, okay.
It's like, well, that goes with one or the other. Dave Manley
I think you could have cut. I think you could have cut to this right here where he's got the note on it, and I think it would have been, you would have made the assumption, but.
Dave Manley says, yes, the Creeper showed up in the animated series. He was sort of a heroic Joker type character. Okay. I don't think I remember him. Dave, if you have a link for that episode or a link for the clip featuring the Creeper or something to that effect, please let me know in the DMs. Because I'm curious to learn more about the Creeper just a little bit.
Enjoy your time in county, Mr. Lau.
Maggie Gyllenhaal rolls up her sleeves. She's like, "All
I
right, it's
know.
time. It's time to get.
I ain't gonna lie.
Serious."
She looks pretty good in that business suit. I ain't gonna lie.
She's about to get serious.
She's
Like,
rocking,
like I
she's
said,
rocking it.
you're a glorified accountant. Like I
Yeah.
told you, I'm very good with calculation.
Very good with calculation.
And Dave Mattingly says, here's a link for you concerning the character of the creeper. All right, thanks, Dave. Feel free to send that to me in the DMs.
It's a picture, I guess, to pop it on screen or whatever. But
yeah.
Rico, we're gonna use the Rico law because they pooled their money into one big.
We can charge them as a criminal conspiracy. In a Rico case, if you can charge one of them with a felony, you can charge all of them with it. That's great.
Yeah, one big.
Mr. Lau, what kind of details do you have about this communal fund?
Did you ever see Secretary with Maggie Gyllenhaal?
Dude, I need to sit my keister down and watch that because it's got her and Raymond Reddington himself, James Spader. I need to see that, man.
And there's a meme online where he's the original Mr. Gray before 50 Shades of Grey because that's
hey.
And it's kind of a.
We don't need to get into that,
thing.
but I understand what the movie's about. I know what it does. I just haven't seen it yet.
She's good in it.
She is? Okay. Is the movie good overall?
The movie's good overall. Yeah, it's all right.
Who's the director? I can't remember.
I can't remember the director, but yeah.
It wasn't the guy from... No, it wasn't the guy who directed... What was that film? No, it wasn't Soderbergh. No. It wasn't Soderbergh. It wasn't the American... It wasn't Sam Mendes who directed American Beauty. That was different.
No.
Darn it. Can't remember who directed it. Someone else did. I'm just trying to think of auteur directors who would direct the film like that. I don't know. Oh, by the way, don't worry about your friends here, pal. They're coming too. You're all. It's basically like what's his face in that movie Street Fighter? Colonel Guile slamming the tank through the door, and he says, "You're all under arrest." Mm-hmm. Which reminds me, isn't next year's the 30th anniversary of Street Fighter, guys. Woo! Yeah, baby. You want to do that? You want to be on that one?
No, I don't have a guilty pleasure love of Street Fighter like everybody else does.
Oh man,
no,
you're no.
Although I told you though, one of my favorite action movies will be its 30th anniversary next year, which is Speed.
Yes, we are totally doing one for Speed. Does that mean rolling? Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm. Hey, 84 has a lot. You got Ghostbusters 84, the 40th anniversary. That's
true.
That's good stuff,
That's another great film, yeah.
Yeah, so you could dig into
84 was what else came out in 84? Oh, Terminator. Dude, Terminator, yes.
Oh, see, and I'm in the camp, which I know it's controversial. I'm in the Terminator 1 over Terminator 2 camp.
Same here. Nope, the Terminator is by far the best.
Well, it's very odd because I'm an Aliens over Alien guy and a Terminator over Terminator 2 guy, and I try to explain it, and it's completely backwards because I'm like, well, see, I love the horror vibes of Terminator 1 over Terminator 2 being like almost like a slasher movie, doing this thing, but then I'm like the actual horror movie of Alien, but I'm the Aliens guy because it's more of an action movie. Like I'm completely backwards in my logic, but it makes sense in my head.
No,
but yeah,
I love
OG Terminator is so great. I think Michael Biehn is fucking brilliant. I mean, this is a great jump scare in the theater, by the way. We all jumped when he hits the glass here. I
was freaking out by that. I'm like, what the heck just happened?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a nice jump
scare. Yeah, we were out of our minds. We were like,
And then when they play the little video or whatever that's attached to him, yeah, it's good stuff.
It scared me. Will the real Batman please stand up? Man, he's such a psychotic freak. Just like Dwayne The Rock Johnson says about certain characters in the WWE. You sick freak.
You sick freak. Gold Dust, you sick freak.
Yeah. Those are some good promos, though, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's ever really cut a bad one, but like some of the ones about certain characters in the WWE, like he knows how to cut on other people. Like he just knows how to do it. Anyway.
Well, okay, so this video right here.
Which creeped me though. This really scared me.
Which I'm pretty sure Heath Ledger shot this himself, like guerrilla style. Like they gave him like a handheld like camcorder, and he shot all this, and he had like a general outline of like bullet points on a script or whatever, but he improvised a good chunk of this just handheld, like the little hand thing on his face, doing the little shushing thing and all that stuff. And this other guy, I think he's done an interview here or there where he was like, I didn't know what he was gonna do. Like I knew he wasn't gonna like hurt me or anything, but like he didn't know what he was gonna do. But yeah, this is all handheld stuff shot by Heath himself. All this camcorder things, and even the one later where we see Anthony Michael Hall like reading the note or whatever, on TV. Like Heath shot that himself too with like a handheld camcorder. So
that's how committed he was to this role.
Yeah.
I'm a man of my word.
I'll talk about the prep that Aaron Eckhart has talked about in their hospital scene together, and what Aaron Eckhart talked about Heath would be doing like before they shot when we get there. But
okay. Now they're entering the penthouse.
Well, right on. One fundraiser with my pals, and you'll never need another cent. Which is true. Yeah.
Scared stiff by the trust fund brigade. I'll be back. Rachel, a little liquid courage, Mr. Dent. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Alfred, right? That's right, sir. Rachel tells you all the time you've known her whole life. Not yet, sir. Any psychotic ex-boyfriends I should be aware of? Oh, you have no idea. Great little hint there, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Psychotic ex-boyfriends.
But this is a great Bruce Wayne entrance. Of course, showing up fashionably late to his own party with the two ladies on each of his side in a helicopter. It's such a Bruce Wayne thing to do. Good stuff.
Are they from the Russian ballet or just two random women?
Three
of them, actually. Hello.
There's three. Hey, there you go.
Sorry that I'm late. I'm glad to see that you all got started without me. Now, where is Harvey? Harvey Dent, the man of the hour. Where is Rachel Dawes? She is my oldest friend. Come here.
Who's your favorite Bruce Wayne incarnation? Who did Bruce the best?
I mean,
not Batman. I just mean Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, you're right. They're two different people. Well, are they really though? But some people made the argument that Bruce Wayne and Batman are two different people. I mean, yeah, but at the same time, they're still played by the same person. So anyway, that's another weird question for another day. But favorite Bruce Wayne. Let's focus on Bruce Wayne for a minute here, as we're celebrating the 15th anniversary of The Dark Knight. That's tough. Because we saw shades of it, no pun intended, of Bruce Wayne in BVS, Batman v Superman, that I thought Ben Affleck did really well. Mm-hmm. But I gotta say, I think Christian Bale nailed it.
I like Affleck Bruce Wayne a lot. Like a lot of the scenes where he's not in the suit, I think he has a nice intensity for when he needs to be.
He's got the girl in his bed in one scene.
He can play the playboy really well because he's Ben Affleck, and it's good stuff.
And then he's trying
I think Bale does a good job, but it comes off as fake. But at the same time, it's because if we want to get deep, Batman is the real Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is a character he's playing. Much like the Keith Carradine Kill Bill speaking, where he's talking about how Superman is the real person, Clark Kent is the disguise. Bruce Wayne is the disguise, Batman is the real person. Yeah. All that
I can see that.
People philosophize over.
What are you getting at here, Dave Mattingly? The Powerpuff? Oh, the Powerpuff Girls were the three women walking in with Bruce Wayne. Okay.
Oh yeah. Well,
but because they had different colored dresses on. I'm sorry. That's what he was getting at. The Powerpuff.
I've met Tara Strong, who does one.
Really? How is she?
Voices. Yeah, she's cool.
Is she cool?
She's
played a lot of characters.
Tara Strong did voice, I think, at least at one point for Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Series. Yeah.
Was she in the Arkham games? Was that her in the Arkham games?
I don't know if that was her. It might have been, but in real, I tell you what, in real life, she could play. She's very sexy in real life, so
she can play a Harley Quinn.
She could absolutely play a Harley Quinn in real life. 100%.
Okay.
Go look up pictures of her. She looks great.
Okay. All right. I mean, she's been at a few conventions that I've appeared at, so
Yeah, she's cool.
I've heard good stories about her with fan interactions and stuff. So maybe I'll meet her one time. You never know. Hold on. Compared to this, the mob doesn't scare me.
Yeah, right. Commissioner Loeb. Yeah, because there's this guy's a good actor. I forget his name. The guy who plays Commissioner Loeb. He's got a cool vibe to him, but we don't get that much of him in this movie. You get obviously more of him in Batman Begins. But yeah, his little thing he filmed with Anthony Michael Hall, where he's on that TV show, that interview show, is pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
But
it's a pretty big commitment. Now, if the mob has their way,
to get a cavalcade of deaths here with the judge and the commissioner.
I mean, the fact that the Joker puts all this in motion, and this is what makes him so smart and conniving, and
Right.
and wild. It's because he warned the judge with the card earlier on in the movie here, which I know we didn't mention, but he did. And now we're about to get some pieces of his plan going into motion here with the killing of what is it, the judge and the commissioner. It's just
Well, he
this guy's a
says
total wacko. Like he is out of his
people
mind.
will die, and somebody dies every day leading up to, throughout the movie. He's a man of his word.
I guess Harvey's trying to ask Rachel a very important question here. Look, just tell me it's not Wayne. The guy's a complete. What are you doing?
Man, Ryan, he just put him in the Taz mission. He put him in the
Taz mission. I understood that reference.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Choked him out.
The judge just look at all those cards, man.
Yeah,
Talk about
a
a
lot of
calling
cards.
card. Good Lord.
They must have all been in the trunk.
Ooh, that is just nuts. And then Loeb gets hit with the drink.
Man.
Get a medic down here.
And this scene as well, when Ledger was walking around here, this was another scene where I think they didn't tell a lot of the extras and the side people like what Ledger was gonna do. And again, like it was, he wasn't gonna like hurt anybody or anything, but like a lot of the things he does. He spits out the dialogue. None of the dialogue's improvised, but a lot of the things he does throughout the scene were improvised, like he eating the little berry on the thing. When he dumps out the champagne, then drinks the empty glass, that was improvised. Like a lot of the things he's doing right here, yeah. The little physical things he
Smashing
does.
down the glass.
Yeah.
You know where Harvey is? You know where he is?
All the stuff he does there is it was improvised. That was a lot of Ledger just doing his own thing in each take.
You know where I can find Harvey? I need to talk to him. Just something a little.
The one guy who's just like, we aren't intimidated by thugs. It's just like, oh, you remind me of my father. I hated my father.
That actress looks familiar.
Yeah, she looks familiar too.
Yeah, I've seen her in some stuff. I don't know who she is, but I've seen her in some other projects. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
That quick scene there was that she looked.
Yeah, she kind of looks like Alison Lohman, but it's not her. But
you remind me of my father. I hated my father. Okay, stop. It's enough. Well, hello, beautiful. I mean, he is just a creeper fracker. Like I just
Yeah.
He was every time I was in the theater watching him, I was grossed out. I was scared. I was I thought I actually thought I was watching like a nightmare, like coming true or something. You know what I mean? Like it's like watching the devil just play. It's just creepy. Is it the scars? You want to know how I got him?
I was trying to look up on IMDb who that girl was.
The actress, she's very familiar.
Is it it must be female guest. I see male guest, female guest.
Who would?
And they're right under Patrick Leahy, who's a real senator, by the way, the guy who he grabs and says, "I hated my father."
Who's
a real
who was the female guest?
It's got to be Jennifer Knox. Is that her? Yeah, I'm clicking on her. Yeah, that's her. So she's. I'm looking her up. She's. I don't know. It just seems like she's a random like TV actress. She doesn't have a lot of credits, but she's got one of those faces where she looks familiar, but she's not.
She just shows up in that one scene, but at least in this movie. And for those of you who are wondering what on earth is going on with the 411 information that we're presenting to you, we are celebrating what is known as the 15th anniversary of The Dark Knight. And if you are just joining us and want to queue up your copy on a physical media or a streaming service, please feel free to do so. Let us know your thoughts about this movie, anything concerning the characters of Batman and within the Batman universe, or even DC universe, because let's face it, DC has hundreds of thousands of millions of characters. So let us know your thoughts about it. Maybe some of your favorite Batman movies, some of your favorite Batman comics, maybe some of your favorite Batman writers or artists. Leave any and all your thoughts in the comment section below or the live chat. Whether you're joining us live on the replay, thank you to each and every single one of you who may be watching or listening to this. Austin, where are we at in the film?
Well, Rachel's about to get
up.
Yeah, Batman's going to have a very poor choice of words here.
No, I'm sorry. You cut out there for a second, Austin. What was the timestamp for our film again?
52. We are now at 52:35.
There you go.
As Joker just shot out the window and is about to drop Rachel. Let her go. Very, very poor choice of words.
By the way, when he shows up and he says, "Then you're gonna love me," I was like, we were cheering, like, yeah, kick his tail, knock this guy out, take him out.
This fall still doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
No, but we were cheering when he shows up.
This really, really bugs me because it's not like he pulls a parachute or a glider or anything. They just land on this car from like very softly from like 50 stories up, like, and they're fine.
No wonder
I don't understand how they survive that.
No wonder his knees are all messed up in the next movie. Now I don't. Now the physicality of it all makes sense. And Dave Malley goes on to say, for the Batman animated features, I love the Ninja Turtles Batman crossover movie. Okay, fair.
Yeah, my favorite animated movie is Superman, Batman, Public Enemies.
Ooh, that's a good one. I've seen that.
I love that one where they have to fight off the, Lex Luthor puts the bounty on his head and stuff. They have to fight off everybody. It's great, good stuff.
You're doing
the Apocalypse one. The follow up is good too.
Yeah, I need you alive to make it on the record. You can't protect me. Can't even protect yourself. You refuse to cooperate. You're not coming back here. You go to county. How long do you calculate you'll last in there?
Yeah.
Targeting me won't get their money back. I knew the mob wouldn't go down without a fight, but this is different. They crossed the line. You crossed the line first. You squeezed them. You hammered them to the point of desperation. And in that desperation, they turned to a man they didn't fully understand. Criminals aren't complicated, Alfred. We just need to figure out what he's after. With respect, Master Wayne, perhaps this is a man you don't fully understand either.
The Burma story is a cool little story. And
was that in the script, or did Michael Caine improv that?
No, this was in the script, but it gives you a nice little some insinuations about Alfred and sort of his
the stuff that he's been through.
Yeah, some of his world travels that we get a little insight into. And yeah, it's a nice little sort of allegory to what's going on with this movie. It's a great quote, though. And Nolan doesn't get enough credit for some of this. It's Nolan and David Goyer who wrote these movies, but they don't get enough credit for some of these great, memorable lines about some men just want to watch the world burn. You still see people quote that on Reddit threads or message boards or whatever. Some people just want to watch the world burn. It's good.
And sadly, I think to a degree that some of that's still true of what's going on in the real world today. There are some people who just want to see the world burn, which is sad, but I think a part of it is true. But man, this Joker character,
yeah,
goodness gracious. And then who is it? Dave Malley goes on to say, so Alfred really was Peachy Carnahan and the man who would be king.
Perhaps.
Okay, maybe he was. I don't know.
I mean, just look at these shots of the city and stuff. Like, they're going to have credit just for these little in-between insert shots. These are all good.
Then you see all the dead people with the cards, stapled to their...
Well, again, he said people will die, and people will die until Batman gives himself up.
What does that say? Richard Dent. Patrick Harvey. Harvey Dent. I need 10 minutes for the scene before you men contaminate it.
See, one thing I liked about the Affleck version was that they had the voice modulation thing in the suit. So he
didn't have to change his voice.
So he didn't have to do growly voice. It just automatically distorted his voice. And even Keaton, I think Keaton did it a little bit better.
He just played it as himself.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he lowered his voice a tad, but it wasn't like growly. Like Keaton was just a Batman. He just altered it just a tad. Just enough to sound tough. Yeah. But he doesn't go crazy with it. That's the one thing that, I mean, it still bugs me about Bale. It's like he's trying too hard with the gravelly voice thing.
I mean, it worked for what he did in the first movie and portions of the second, but it's like, okay, we get it. Like, you're Batman, but you don't necessarily have to go that hard as for the voice of it. You could have created a voice modulator or just altered your voice ever so slightly, like Michael Keaton did back in the day.
He went full Batman. You never go full Batman.
Full Batman. I mean, Keaton did it so. Gosh,
he did so well.
I mean, he did it so. Even in the opening scene, he does it well. And then when he's Bruce Wayne, he was like, "Hi, Bruce Wayne. Are you sure? Yeah, this time."
Well,
I've seen your photographs from Corto Maltese, haven't I?
Even Kilmer did it pretty well in Batman.
Dude, he did it so chill. He's like, I don't need a modulator.
He doesn't need a the bat signal is not a beeper. It's just
the bat signal is not a beeper. You trying to get up to my cape, doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it, Austin? It's the car, right? Chicks love the car.
Car, right? Chicks take the car.
What is it about the wrong kind of man? And Nicole Kidman, oh my
playing
gosh.
the horniest character in comic book movie history, Dr.
Maybe.
She is
But,
absolutely the horniest character in comic book movie
But
history.
she's a shrink, man. She was, she was trying to get under his skin.
But then when she actually has the chance to, when he actually shows up at her balcony, and then she all of a sudden like she's the one who cuts him off. She's the cock block, and I'm like, you're the one who told him to come there at midnight. Like, get out of here, Chase. You're a tease. He shows up in the black rubber, and then you don't want anything to do with him. Get out of here.
Yeah, a bit strange, but like I said, you know, hey, listen, it was the third movie in the series. You had to switch up the love interest with different layers, you know.
Yeah.
You just had to. You couldn't be the same thing that Vicky Vale was, and you sure as heck couldn't be the same thing that Selena Kyle was. Even though they do a wink and a nod to the first two films with her saying, "You like strong women. I've done my homework. Or do I need skin tight vinyl and a whip?" Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "Dang, Chase, you've done your homework, girl."
Yeah, she did her homework.
And then she says to him, "My life's an open book. You read?" And I'm like, "What? What? Do you think he would read your file?" I mean, he probably did because he's Batman, but it's like, come on.
Hey, listen, we won't get to the 30th anniversary of Batman Forever for another.
I know, another 2 years. I'm kind of bummed, but I'm looking forward to that. Would you be willing to be on that one?
Sure. Yeah, I don't like overly love that movie because I think a lot of the stuff we see in Batman Returns is in Batman Forever. People just don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
A lot of the goofy shit is in that movie too. But again, I've seen it 8,000 times because I had the Batman box set on VHS. When I was a kid,
baby.
With 89 through 97. So all four of those movies I've seen a million times, and like I could quote them all left and right. But
nice.
But yeah, no. So I mean, over time, I've probably actually gone back and watched Batman and Robin more than Batman Forever, but I've seen it a lot.
Oh, jeez.
But to me, it's just like
it makes me sad.
What bugs me about Batman Forever is Tommy Lee Jones trying to out-ham Jim Carrey when he could have been a really good like Harvey Dent. He could have been he's an Oscar. He's coming off an Oscar. He's coming off the Fugitive.
Yeah.
And he could have been a really, really good, like awesome,
Fugitive, yeah.
Like creepy, good, like Two-Face, and he completely just tries to be.
Like he tries to be like the Joker.
Bad. Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, I mean, I still deal with it, but you know.
I mean, Jim Carrey is just being Jim Carrey in that movie, which is fine. I mean, he was big at the time. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But there's things like I don't mind Chris O'Donnell. I think he's all right.
Chris O'Donnell was good as Robin. He was fine for what he was given.
Kilmer's an okay Batman. I don't have any problem with Kilmer. He was hot off of Tombstone and shit.
What did you think of his Bruce Wayne?
We don't get a lot of it. It's okay. It's okay.
Fair enough.
He's a better Batman than Bruce Wayne in that movie. Yeah, he's
okay.
He's better as that.
That's fair. I can.
It would have been funny if he played Bruce Wayne like Doc Holliday, though.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Definitely throw people off the set.
I mean, speaking of Michael Biehn, Johnny Ringo, he looked like someone just walked over your grave. So you get Batman and Kyle Reese in the same movie.
Yeah.
You know? Michael
Biehn would have been a good Batman in the 80s. He would have been all right.
Wasn't he rumored to play him at one point?
Maybe, but he's I like Michael Biehn.
He was rumored to play a lot of different roles.
He's one of the reasons I like Terminator 1 T2. I love the Michael Biehn
Kyle Reese
character. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, man.
He's so good.
It was him who started the whole trend of come with me if you want to live.
Yeah.
Come on. Dude, I met him at a Comic-Con, had him sign my Terminator Blu-ray. It was so much fun. I loved meeting him. It was so great. Michael Biehn, you're a gentleman and a scholar. You're a great guy. I look forward to seeing you again at Comic-Con sometime. Maybe I will have you sign my Terminator Divida as well as maybe even my Terminator poster.
Hey, he's in two of my favorite movies of all time, Terminator and Aliens. So
that's true. Game over, man. Game over.
Well, that's Bill Paxton.
Well, yeah, but still.
See, Hudson, sir, he's Hicks. See,
I know.
Even the people in the movie confuse the two of
them. What's his most famous line, though, in Aliens for Michael Biehn?
I mean, he doesn't get a lot of the great lines in Aliens.
Really
he's kind of just the stoic, kind of
commander kind of thing.
Yeah, he's
what's his line?
I think it's Stay Frosty. Stay Frosty is probably his most.
Was that? By the way, in this scene, was that Joker right there?
Yeah, that was Joker. You see
without the makeup on?
Yeah, you see the scars on his
okay, because I'm thinking to myself, was that Joker or was it someone impersonating the Joker?
Mm-hmm. See, but again, the plan is a little confusing here. Like, what was that? He's supposed did Gordon know what was going to happen? And he jumps in front of him. Did they just go with it? he's obviously wearing a vest, but like, this plan is a little like, how thought out was this? I don't know.
That's a fair
There's
point.
David Dastmalchian in the
Oh,
aforementioned
there he is. Yeah, plays
Thomas
one of the
Thomas
Joker's
Schiff.
minions who
His
takes
name
the
is
fall.
Schiff. Yeah, he doesn't really have like lines though. He just kind of like laughs and cackles.
Rachel Dawes.
And,
saying that the next target's going to be Rachel Dawes. And by the way, Dave Mattingly says Michael Bean's best line is, "You're just grinding metal."
Yeah.
You're just grinding metal.
Ease down. Ease down. Come on, ease down. No, he's more just a stoic guy. He doesn't get a lot of like the great lines, but he's good in that movie. Well, given the fact that he was casted 2 weeks before the movie started because James Remar got fired.
There you go.
That's a whole nother story for another day.
This movie is getting really deep into its plot. Joker's putting his plan in motion, tries to kill the mayor, but I guess he wanted to kill Gordon instead.
Yeah, and he wanted to kill Gordon at the 1 hour 3 and 45 second mark, Ryan, which is where we're at the Dark Knight here. As Aaron Eckhart is about to in a minute take a Schiff into the alley and do some interrogation with his double-sided coin. Eric Roberts. Oh, Eric Roberts. He was like, he's smiling here because this is like right after this he's gonna do like Steven Seagal movies for when like in Bulgaria. And
what makes you think I hear you want to talk? I would want to hear you talk. What? And they're in a very loud club sequence here.
I do like some of his line deliveries, like the one later where he's just like, "Don't stop for cops, lights, nothing. Just keep going.
Just keep going."
It's just such an Eric Roberts thing.
Just keep going. Just keep.
Fall from here wouldn't kill me. I'm counting on it.
It's true.
Yeah.
Batman knew it. He knew the fall wouldn't kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Second. Okay. Hello? Harvey, where are you? Where are you? I'm here where you should be. I'm at Major Crimes. I'm trying to deal with all of this mess. Can I get fingerprint? Rachel, listen to me. You're not safe there. This is Gordon's unit. Gordon's gone, Rachel. He vouched for these men, and he's gone.
How many corrupt cops are in this damn town, man? Because, like, yeah, Harvey Dent doesn't trust any of them, like, at all. He thinks they're all, on the mob payroll. And to be fair, he's not wrong for most of them throughout the movie.
Harvey, trust me. Bruce's penthouse is now the safest place in the city. Well, he's right, because I think most of those cops in that room are probably corrupt cops.
Well, yeah, they are.
All right, I'll see you soon.
This is a great. I will give this. It's a good interrogation tactic using a double-sided coin. Just keep flipping it over and over again. It's not a bad way to kind of,
We're starting to see. Yeah, we're starting to see Gotham's White Knight kind of start to break here with him using the coin and interrogating one of Joker's thugs. If you're gonna try to scare somebody, pick a better spot.
I remember that noise, the Foley noise, when you hear like his knee snap, like when he hits the ground. It's like, oh,
where is he? I don't know where he is. He found us. He must have friends. Friends? Have you met this guy? Someone knows where he is. Nobody's gonna tell you nothing. They're wise to your act. You got rules. The Joker, he's got no rules. Nobody's going to cross him for you. If you want this guy, you got one way. Take off that mask.
Eric Roberts' best movie? Best of the best.
Interesting. Or you can let a couple more people get killed while you make up your mind. I mean, ever since Joker made that haunting, very disturbing video, people have been dying left and right since Batman has chosen not to reveal his identity.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? I wouldn't. You don't think I will? Huh? You don't think I will? See, we're starting to see Gotham's White Knight crack a little bit because he's angry, he's furious. You're starting to see shades of Two-Face come into play here. Heads, you keep your head.
Tails. Not so lucky.
Not so lucky. You want to tell me about your friend the Joker? Come on.
I think David Dastmalchian is just such a unique looking guy. That's why he got the roles. He's kind of like a Steve Buscemi, he's just such a weird looking dude. He's got that Buscemi quality where he's kind of the new version of that. But yeah, he's not like your typical sort of, Hollywood, good looking leading man type of guy. Not exactly. He's got the double-sided coin. Quick reference to Arkham again. can't give in. You can't give in.
You're the symbol of hope I can never be. Your stand against organized crime is the first legitimate ray of light Gotham in decades. If anyone saw this, everything would be undone. The criminals you arrested, they'd be released, and Jim Gordon would have died for nothing. You're going to hold a press conference tomorrow. Why? No one else will die because of me. Gotham's in your hands now. You can't give in. You can't give in.
They do end up cleaning up the streets because of the Dent Act in Dark Knight Rises, but to what end of their tactics though? They end up damn near just putting everybody with a criminal record in jail, in all of Gotham.
Dave Manley goes on to say Desmontian almost has a Bruce Campbell-like face sculpt.
Yeah, he's just a strange-looking dude, but
he's a strange-looking dude, bro.
Well, he is. He's very unconventional, which is why he's probably getting a lot of roles, though, because he's a different-looking guy. Sometimes Hollywood needs different-looking guys. But yeah, so we are at the 109.05 here on our 15th anniversary of The Dark Knight Watchalong. Ryan will be right back. But yeah, we get this sort of kiss between Bruce and Rachel here, and the letter writing comes into play later. Obviously, she doesn't want to settle down with Bruce; she wants to settle down with Harvey. But yeah, this movie, yeah. At this point, I remember, when we originally saw, the audience was all in on this. Like halfway through, we were just on bated breath this whole time, seeing what would happen here. We had heard about this IMAX sequence they had shot in Chicago, with the full IMAX cameras that we're getting to here in a minute. With the big chase sequence with the garbage trucks and all that stuff. But actually seeing it in the theater was pretty damn cool, because I'd seen some behind the scenes stuff that it kind of leaked out here and there, and ended up being a pretty great action sequence. Some good philosophizing here between Alfred and Bruce. Today I get to tell you I told you so. Today I don't want to.
I don't want to, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Well, aside from this film getting very dark and kind of somewhat depressing, but hey, we're going to give you a ray of sunlight, because what you are witnessing is the 15th anniversary celebration of what is known as the Dark Knight. My name is Ryan of Nerd Culture. I'm your host. I'm joined by our esteemed panelist known as Austin, who knows one too many things about movies because he's seen a thing or two. With that being said, if you're just joining us, don't forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends. If you have any thoughts about the character known as Batman, or maybe some of his villains, maybe some comic books that stand out to you, leave any and all your thoughts in the comment section below. We would love to hear from you. And also, don't forget to like and share this with every single person that you know. If you want to join us by watching this movie, where are we at in the film, Austin?
We are just a little over 1 hour, 11 minutes. Harvey Dent is holding his press conference where he's going to take the fall for the Batman and try to convince people that he is the Batman.
There you go. So keep becoming a physical media or streaming service. Watch it along with us, because there's still a lot of movie to go here in this presentation.
Yeah, we're only almost getting to the halfway point here, because the chase through Chicago is kind of about the halfway mark of the movie. Yeah, the IMAX sequence.
Chase through Chicago with them bears.
Yeah,
Chicago is just standing for Gotham City with them bears.
Well, and then Dark Knight Rises, it's Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh, right? Yes.
Yeah.
No more dead cops.
No more dead cops.
By the way, I love what Harvey says here, is that the light is darkest just before the dawn. And I promise you, the dawn is coming.
Take the Batman into custody. I am the Batman.
What? Did you hear? Yeah. I am the Batman. You're the Batman? I'm the Batman. What? Come on. I am the Batman. Someone made a compilation video of all the times that a person says, I am Batman. And it's on YouTube, and it's really, really funny. They take all forms of media, whether it's been featured in commercials for products or whether it's been featured in TV series such as Community. It's really funny.
Yeah.
It's really funny. You should watch it.
I'll see it. I'll check it out.
You should. You got to go. You got to watch it on YouTube. It's 4.5 minutes of just plain old,
Batman,
good old fashioned fun. It's like Keaton's version, and then there's Val Kilmer, and then there's was it George Clooney and Christian, all the different iterations, and then people on
Clooney's is the worst because it's like, "Hi,
Hi,
Freeze, I'm Batman." It's just like, oh Jesus Christ!
crashes
bro.
through the roof. Hi,
The
Freeze, I'm Batman.
the least intimidating I'm Batman of all time.
Because he says hi. You don't say
Hi,
hi to anyone.
Freeze, I'm Batman.
Yeah, hi, Freeze.
That's
I'm
kind of
Batman.
why shit like that is why I've kind of liked that movie though. I've come around to like that movie just as an anomaly of just like, what is this? Like, it's so weird.
I think the actor known as Chris O'Donnell said it best, where he said in a behind-the-scenes documentary for Batman and Robin, in Batman Forever, we were making a movie. And Batman and Robin, we were making a toy commercial.
Well, they were. Yeah, he's not
So,
wrong.
That's what he said, and I agree with him 100%. And also,
Not
Dave
wrong.
Manley says, all this time, and I never knew Dent was Batman.
I know, man. The movie did a good job of hiding that.
Really good job of hiding, because he's Gotham's White Knight. I'm Batman.
Yeah.
I am the Batman. You're the Batman? Take him into custody.
Yeah, the movie's got all these fun. I always appreciate a good sort of background actor who has a good line reading, like like you said, that one guy in the press conference who's just like, "No more dead cops." It's just like out of nowhere. It's like, oh wow, you committed to that line, didn't you? And yeah, this driver or the co-driver or whatever,
the co-pilot,
yeah, who's just like,
He's
okay, it's not good.
He's like, that's definitely not good, and he's doing the commentary the whole gosh darn time. You make your own luck, Harvey, which is true. He makes his own luck, and Dave Malley goes on to say, my favorite review of the movie, known as Batman Forever, was no, it just seemed that way.
Yeah.
Okay, that's.
It is a long movie. Yeah.
Batman Forever is 2 hours, but without credits, it's like an hour 55.
Something like that. I thought it was like 210 or 215.
No, it's 2 hours even, but it's only an hour 55 without the credits.
Yeah, Batman and Robin is like 220. That's a longer movie,
dude. Yeah,
it is too long, like for what it is. It's fun, but it's
a toy commercial. Yeah.
When
Obstruction
they do their like fourth costume change before the final fight, I'm just like, what is going on here? When they change into their snow outfits for no reason right before the end, I'm just like, what? It's ridiculous. It's like, okay, that's clearly a commercial for the new snow line of Batman action figures.
I know this is meant to be an obstruction within the middle of the road with the truck being on fire, but I think they could have gotten around that, because there was a little opening at the end of that where you could have gotten through.
Yeah.
In my opinion, but they took the tunnel because that's what the story is supposed to meant to do. And by the way, when the police officer says, "Hey, you got to move your truck," Joker comes out with a shotgun, boom, knocks that guy out. I'm thinking, "Ooh, geez, this is getting serious now."
Oh yeah,
because he's the one who put that truck there. Him and his cronies are the ones who put the truck in the middle of the road. We got trouble, guys. What do you mean we got trouble? What's happening? There's a dump truck behind us. Oh, that truck just smashed right into him.
I like the slaughter is the best medicine.
Yeah, but that's how crazy the Joker is. He's nuts. He's out of his mind.
Yeah.
Spray paints things the way he wants it. What was that? Slaughter is the best medicine. Ugh. Creepy, 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 creepy. He's got a heck of an armory there with those guns, don't you think?
Yeah. Well, a Glock 19 with the extended mag is not going to do a lot against an armored truck.
But it is going to get your attention.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that shotgun. Jeez. These are built for that, right?
What is that?
Yeah, he'll need something a lot bigger to get through this. RPG, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? A bazooka? Whoa! Car just gets flipped over. We were like grabbing our seats watching this. We were like on the edge of our seats for this whole thing.
This is good stuff. And again, what I appreciate about this is it's all practical. There's no,
and they were able to do it in such a confined space.
Yeah, all these cars getting flipped and going off into the river and just getting smashed. Like it's all real. I dig this stuff.
Ooh. Tumbler takes that dump truck and lifts it up onto the what is it? That concrete.
Yeah.
Joker. I think Joker's starting to get a bit impressed here by this tumbler.
I like the tumbler, but the '89 Batmobile is still
best.
Batmobile. It's still the best because when I think about a Batmobile, like what a Batmobile would look like, it's still the '89 one. I'm just like, that's a Batmobile. Like this is like a.
This is a tank.
Yeah, this is a tank. I mean, yeah.
It's really just a glorified tank.
Yeah, for sure. but I mean, it's still cool to look at. But yeah, when I think Batmobile, I still think the '89 Batmobile. Yep.
That was a scene that was very heavily marketed in the trailers.
Oh yeah.
The bazooka going off into the what was it, the tumbler here.
Yeah, which critical failure.
Oh man!
But hey, I remember Ryan. Yeah, again, I'm going back a lot to the first reaction we had in the theater because we didn't have YouTube reactions back
Sure.
then. But when he pops out with this bat pod dude and just pops right out of there and he takes off and the music kicks in, the whole crowd was like, "Yeah, woo!" Like it was a hell of a reaction. This whole scene was freaking masterful. Like this whole thing, yeah, the way it's put together.
Yeah, the choreography.
The crowd was all in on this. Yeah, I mean, yeah, when he pops out here in a second, it's great.
I mean, to do this the way that they did, I like this job. I like it. Man, the Joker just being his creepy fracker self.
Goodbye.
It's.
And then I saw a thing on the Today Show where they had the stunt driver, the guy who actually drove this bat pod, and he was driving it around the street in front of the Today Show and showing that it was real. Like this was not a fake thing. Like, but it took incredible driving skills and precision to drive this thing because it's such an unusual. It's not like a standard motorcycle. It's like that weird tilting and leaning. Like you could tip this thing very easily. He said it took a very precise way to drive it because it was a total prototype thing that nobody had ever put together before. But it's so cool looking. I mean, it just looks amazing.
All the mirrors are getting taken out.
Yeah, but yeah, the fact that it's real, it's awesome. I miss real effects in movies and real practical stuff.
Rack them up.
Yeah.
Trying to knock out that helicopter, I take it.
Yeah.
Those cable lines. Yeah, the kids are having a good time. But hey, wait a minute! I didn't think this would be real. But
I feel bad for all these people that Batman just wrecked their cars just trying to get through. They're gonna have a hell of an insurance claim.
I know, right?
What happened to your car? Batman blew it up while I was parked just trying to go to the movies that night.
That's not good. Okay, that's not good.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That laugh is awesome.
That's how maniacal he is, this character. Man, he wrecked shop.
But now he's just pulling a Blues Brothers. He's just like driving through a mall now and shit, like.
And once again, this is another. I think this can be said for almost any movie this man has ever scored. But anything that Hans Zimmer has done
scored is he's
between him and working in collaboration with James Newton Howard for these scores. I mean, it's pure gold.
No, it's good stuff. Yeah.
Now there's a Batman.
Yeah, and even though this is in the trailer, again, when we saw this in the theater and they popped the semi, and the fact that it was a real semi that they popped right here, and flipped, and it was all
practical.
Real. Yeah, all practical is great.
He missed.
Because this would be CGI now. They would just CGI the shit out of this, and it doesn't have the same impact. Boom, and then it just pops up. That's
and
so
it
great.
Flipped so well. Like it's just a beast. And by the way,
perfect.
Dave Manley says new imports are in. I guess referring to Batman like wrecking shop, and then the new stuff comes in. And then he also goes on to say Hans Zimmer and John Williams are the masters.
No, yeah, Williams will always be number one. He's the GOAT, but Hans Zimmer is not far behind him. He's great.
Look at Joker being able to like still be fully composed after being flipped over like that. Like that just shows you how crazy. But then again, with people who suffer from injuries or in car accidents and they get out, they're able to get out. It's pure adrenaline that they're running on.
Well, and this is great because again, Joker doesn't care about dying. If Batman hits Joker right here, he wins.
Come on, hit me.
Speed, Ryan. It's like the same thing that Keanu says about Dennis Hopper in Speed. He goes, if he gets the money, he wins. If the bomb blows up, he wins. It's the same thing here. If Batman kills him, he wins. If he takes out Gotham, he wins. Like he's preparing for all scenarios.
Come on, come on, come on. Could you just give me a minute? Whoa. We got you now, you son of a... Gordon's alive, guys. He's not dead.
Mm-hmm.
You do like to play things pretty close to the chest. We got him, Harvey. We got him. Mr. Dent, how's it feel to be the biggest hero in Gotham? Well, I'm no hero. Gotham's finest. They're the real heroes.
Do the right thing. What? Saving my ass.
Which is what? Saving my... yeah. That was, dude, we were kind of laughing at that in the theater, too. We were laughing. There were some good parts that made us laugh here, man.
There's some good stuff here, yeah.
And then Dave Manley says, I want to talk to my lawyer, Harvey Dent.
But then he gets into a car with a couple of corrupt cops, Ramirez and the other guy. These corrupt cops that are on the payroll.
Look what's in his jacket, though.
Nothing but knives and lint.
Look at that. What is that, a potato peeler?
The clap he does right here was improvised, apparently, is what Nolan said.
Good clap, though. Really creepy.
When the mayor promotes him and then they're all clapping for him, he does the little silly clap. Yeah. That was
and it's featured in the marketing.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't risk my family's safety.
A lot of the physical stuff he did was improvised, but he didn't improvise a lot of lines per se. Some stuff here and there, like some laughs and in between stuff, but a lot of just the physical stuff and his interactions with everybody else and the scenery and stuff was a lot of that was improvised. But people were like, "Oh, he improvised that." He didn't improvise everything. This is a very tight script. Like everything was scripted. It's just Nolan allowed him to play around with the character as far as his physicality, essentially, which is stuff like that. Barbara Gordon.
Let's see here. Dave Manley goes on to say the exploding phone within that thug's belly came from the Batman 66 series as well. Really? I didn't know you could do that in Batman 66. Have a guy with a phone in his stomach and have it explode. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that was legal.
We thought when we saw the movie in the theaters, if you look later when they pull up his shirt and you see the thing, it almost looks like a question mark, like the scars on him. So we thought it was like a Riddler tease as well, too, or something.
Really?
You'll see it when we get to it in a minute. But like the scar here in a second, like when he's complaining or whatever, and they finally like pull his shirt off, it almost looks like a question mark.
You're gonna have to, I'm gonna have to keep a close eye on that.
I'll point that out when it gets.
And now Gordon just got a phone call. He said anything yet? No. Look who it is.
Mm-hmm.
Evening, Commissioner.
Yeah. But again, another great reveal coming up when they hit the light and Batman's already behind them. So great. such good stuff.
Harvey Dent never made it home. Of course. Where was he? Me?
What?
I was right here. Who did you leave him with?
Yeah.
Your people? Assuming, of course, they are still your people,
Maroney's.
and not Maroney's. Does it depress you, Commissioner, to know just how alone you really are? Does it make you feel responsible for Harvey Dent's current predicament? Where is he? What's the time? What difference does it make? Well, depending on the time, he may be in one spot or several.
Yep. And then this scene coming up, from what I've read, Heath Ledger kind of behind the scenes encouraged Bale to really kind of toss him around for real a little bit.
Like I said, this is how committed this young actor was to this role.
Some of these hits look pretty rough when he's getting like thrown into the wall and stuff.
And the mirror, into the
the mirror one especially, the glass, especially.
Don't start with the head. The victim starts to get all fuzzy. You can't feel the net. There it is. Say, you wanted me. Here I am. I actually thought he was going to kill him. I mean, I actually, there's a part of me that wanted me.
Well, again,
Like,
if Batman does lose his cool and kills him, Joker still wins. He wins because he does it in front of everybody, you know.
but
And he doesn't care about dying. Dying is part of the plan. Like, or dying can be part of the plan, you know, because it would still throw in as much chaos. You know, same thing with when we see Harvey put the gun to his head, you know, in the hospital room. If he dies right there, cool, because he tipped Harvey over the edge, you know, like, and that's part of the plan, multiple plans. Because he has plans. I mean, he says the contrary, you know. Do I look like a guy with a plan? Yeah, he does have plans. He just plans for multiple scenarios. He does things and just kind of sees what happens. He's like Jigsaw. He just plans for different people's, you know, what they're gonna do.
Even as the villain here, the Joker here in this scene, and specifically here with the Dark Knight, he does make some good points. You know, like they're going to toss you out. You know, they don't really care much for heroes. They don't even like you. I don't even know why you're bothering helping them and all this other stuff. And then when he starts wailing on them, I mean, I'm watching this in the theater the first night, or I think we saw it opening weekend. I think it was at the time, way back when, for 15 years ago. I think Batman's going to kill this guy, and I think he should too, because I don't like him. I mean, he's so
what he says
doing
about
all this stuff, and and he's pushing him so much. I'm thinking, you know what? Just kill this guy, because the Joker's a freak anyway, and he should be dead.
And the line he says about the civilized people, when the chips are down, they'll eat each other. Listen, I've worked in a grocery store for 16 years. I saw when people were freaking out over toilet paper. Imagine what would actually happen if society were to collapse. You know what I mean? You know, people fighting over fucking toilet paper at the grocery store.
You have to play my game if you want to save one of them. You know, for a while there, I thought you really were dead. The way you threw yourself after her. What? You know, just. Look at this. He doesn't even want anyone else to come in. He's blocking the door with that chair. That's what he's doing, because he knows.
Watch the hit with the mirror, because it's pretty. I think that one was real. Boom.
Does Harvey know about you and his little bunny? Where are they? Killing is making a choice. Where are they? Choose between one life or the other. Your friend, the district attorney, or his blushing bride to be. Just him laughing. I'm thinking, dude, just kill this guy. Seriously. You have nothing to threaten me with. I'm going to tell you
you're going to choose.
But you're going to have to make, that's the point. You'll have to choose. He's at 252nd Street, and she's at Avenue X on Cicero. Which one are you going after? Rachel. I'm going after Dent. This movie is intense, dark, disturbing, and they're about to turn things up to 11. Here on the 15th anniversary of what is known as The Dark Knight, directed by Christopher Nolan and starring Christian Bale and company. Austin, where are we at in this movie?
1:31, almost right on the dot.
Right on the dot. 1 hour.
Harvey Dent and Rachel are surrounded by a hell of a lot of gasoline.
So we're at the 1 hour 31 minute mark. If you want to queue up your copy on a physical media or a streaming service, please do so. Let us know your thoughts about this movie or anything concerning the character known as I'm Batman in the comments or the live chat. And thank you so much for being here, to each and every single one of you who are tuning in, whether you are joining us live or on the replay. Thank you so much. We cannot do this without you. And I want to thank our panelists known as Austin for being here with us too. This has been a really insightful conversation. If you have any fun facts you want to share with us, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Be more than happy to hear from you.
This guy should have kept his composure way more than what he does. Like, you tell me he's never had a dude like taunt him or whatever, like some, you know, dumb criminal, you know, like mess with his head or something. Like, I don't know. So yeah, this guy, when they peel up his shirt, look at what it kind of looks like. We all thought it was. I remember the message boards being like, he had like a question mark on his chest. That's a tease for the Riddler. Being like, I don't know about that, but it kind of.
I would have been interested to see the Riddler in the third one.
So watch it. They're about to. Well, when they get.
Oh wait a minute. He's on the ground now. Listen, and then Rachel is about to tell something very important to Harvey. I was devastated when this happened, by the way.
No, it was a shock because, you know, you thought like they were going to get saved in time. You figured, I mean, you knew they were going to do the he was going to get burned up with the Two-Face thing, but yeah, the fact that Rachel dies, it was a pretty big shock that
we were
could happen here.
we were devastated. I was shocked. I was dismayed, and I thought the Joker did this. If I saw him right now, I would pull a Batman and just like keep punching him and throwing him into the glass and everything else. Like I would have lost my mind.
Mount the curb.
All available units coverage at 250 52nd Street. Do you want to know why I use a knife? Guns are too quick. You can't savor all the little emotions. Man, this actor got so lost in this role.
Yeah.
I mean, whether he would have lived or passed on, what may have happened with what did, I should say, happen to Heath Ledger, the late great Heath Ledger, he still wouldn't have won the Oscar if he were alive. I still wouldn't have given.
Yeah,
I would have given him the Oscar. 100%.
Right, but he went really method though, and here you go. He rolls it up.
Let me see that. Oh, with the scar. Now I'm seeing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you'll see it again when it lights up. They when it lights up when he actually makes the phone call. But, yeah.
See
but
that.
I was gonna say Ledger apparently, when he was prepping for the role, like locked himself like in a hotel room for like
a month.
week.
For a month.
Yeah, and just like paced around and like wrote a journal and like all this weird, and like who knows like what that did to his brain. I don't know. He got like really into this character. So yeah, I don't know if it really messed with him and kind of.
I just want my phone call. I just want my phone call. Look at this. Harvey's on the floor with all that gas. Is it gasoline or No, not kerosene. That wouldn't work.
Gasoline.
It's gasoline. Yeah. Thank you. I was wondering what it was.
And they're big gas barrels. Yeah.
Give me the phone. All I want is my phone call.
All right, look at his.
All right, let me see this.
It's kind of a question marky sort of thing. See, it's kind of.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It's kind of.
Oh, there it is. There it is, right there. Is that a phone or something? Oof. Jeez.
A big boom. Yeah.
Mount the curb.
Mount the curb.
I just want my phone call. Devastating when this happens. Devastating.
Yeah.
Devastating.
Well, and then when it cuts her off like mid-sentence, when she's like, "It's okay, Harvey, it's okay," and then just boom, yeah. Like, whoa. I don't think she survived that.
I don't have it, and she says, "I do have an answer for you." What? No, not me. Why are you coming for me? Why are you coming for me, Rachel? Rachel.
It's a hell of an explosion coming up here too. Boom. Damn.
And
there
devastating.
Goes, and
just
there goes Maggie Gyllenhaal. Boom.
No. Oh, no.
Damn. There it is.
Great special effects there.
Yeah.
Man, did that explosion basically just kill everyone in the police station except for Lau?
And the Joker standing right in the middle of it somehow.
Yeah, it's like, did that kill everybody or just knock them unconscious?
I think a lot of them it knocked them out or injured them, but yeah, Lau was over in one of the side cells away from everybody.
The Joker planned to be caught. He wanted me to lock him up in the MCU.
In the MCU with Marvel? Oh.
I believe that means Major Crimes Unit.
Yeah. Well, he certainly locked up Lau in the MCU. That's where he shows up in a couple of years. It's in the MCU.
People say this is one of the most haunting and best scenes or freeze frames from a movie is Batman overlooking the fire.
That's a great poster shot though. It's good stuff. Great.
And then this is a letter that Rachel wrote to Bruce explaining that, hey, we had our chance. It's over. I'm going with Harvey. I love him. When I told you that if Gotham no longer needed Batman, we could be together, I meant it. But now I'm sure the day won't come when you no longer need Batman. I hope it does. And if it does, I will be there. But as your friend, I'm sorry, Harvey. I'm sorry to let you down, Bruce. If you lose your faith in me, please keep your faith in people. This whole montage is so sad. It's devastating. You get the scene of Batman overlooking the fire and the wreckage and seeing everything that has been destroyed in his life, and now he's questioning whether he wants to continue being this person or not. I prepared a little breakfast. Very well then, Alfred. Yes, Master Wayne. Did I bring this on her? I was meant to inspire good, not madness, not death. You have inspired good, but you spat in the face of Gotham's criminals. Didn't you think there might not be casualties?
Why didn't they have this conversation beforehand, though?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like when he's starting to do all this stuff as Batman, like Alfred has so much wisdom about what's going to happen with the criminals of Gotham. Now it's like, yeah, after his girl is dead and after Harvey's been maimed and, all this stuff, it's like, oh, now you're going to say, well, you pissed him off and this is what was going to happen. It's like, well, okay, you could have told me that like a year ago.
She was going to wait for me, Alfred. Dent doesn't know. You can never know. Takes that letter. What's that?
Yeah.
He can wait. That bandit in the forest in Burma. Did you catch him? Yes, sir. How? We burned the forest down.
And then how this was done, by the way, for anyone who wants to know, is he was wearing like a half like green screen thing on his face. Yeah, but it's a great effect. It looks amazing
the visual effects here.
It looks excellent. Like it looks real.
When you see it a little bit later on here in the course of this film, known as The Dark Knight, you get to see how great the special effects are in this movie.
Yeah.
And his coin gets burned on one side. So. By the way, Aaron Eckhart, I knew him before this movie. I already knew who he was, but this was a really big step up for him as an actor.
He's one of those guys. Yeah, but he's one of those guys I thought would blow up bigger than he did, and he didn't really. Like it seemed like they were priming him to be a big like leading man because he's a handsome dude. He's a good actor. He's got that strong jaw. He's got those kind of classic good looks. But he never really broke out as like a big leading guy. They tried with like. What was it like? No Reservations, like the rom-com way.
Yeah, with Catherine Zeta-Jones, they did the sci-fi movie The Core back in 2003.
The Core, they did Battle Los Angeles,
which I liked The Core and Battle LA.
But it's like it just never happened, and then he kind of went back to being kind of a supporting actor. So it's kind of unfortunate. There was a period there where we all kind of thought he was going to blow up, and he never did.
Wasn't he? Yeah, but wasn't he the president in the Olympus Has Fallen trilogy?
Yeah, but those movies are not as big. Like, and he disappears after the first one, because Morgan Freeman takes over as the president in the sequels. So
that's right, doesn't he?
He's only in that first one, but again, it's not a huge role. He's kind of a supporting player in that movie, and then he's like the co-pilot in Sully, he like pops up in these random movies, and he's good. Don't get me wrong, but like I felt like he was gonna blow up as an actor, and he never really did as like a leading man. This is a great reveal though when he finally like turns his head, when he calls him. Yeah, what a great reveal! It looks awesome. This looks so good. It's perfect,
and it's like it came from the comics. Like it looked like it came right out of the or
it's certainly better than the goofy purple makeup that Tommy Lee Jones had in Batman Forever. It looks like purple goo on his face. A lot of
people can say that, but what I'm saying is this look for Harvey Dent / Two-Face looked like it came right out of the comics, and it also is kind of reminiscent of the look that he had in Batman the Animated Series.
A little bit, yeah. The animated series is a little more green. But yeah,
or blue,
green or blue, whatever.
Green or blue, yeah.
I like when he does a little slide down the
that's a lot of money, by the way.
That's a shitload of money.
That he's able to just slide down.
That's way more than $60 million. That looks like $1 billion.
That's
a lot. That's because $1 million, you could fit $1 million in like a briefcase. It's like That's a lot of money, unless it's all in singles or something. That's a lot of money. And he's like, I'm only gonna burn my half, but the whole thing is covered in gasoline, so it's like the whole thing's gonna burn. It burns everything.
Dude, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
That he's just burning because he doesn't care about money, right? He doesn't care about that. He just cares about anarchy.
Yeah. Well, I think he's already prepped. He's already prepped all this stuff for the rest of the movie, so he doesn't need the money anymore. He knows that this is going to be it. Like his last couple of things here with the hospital, with the ferries, all that stuff. He's already kidnapped the people in the building.
I'm only burning my half.
Yeah, bullshit. That's the whole stack.
Dude, that's the whole freaking enchilada. Are you kidding me?
That's not half. He didn't like split it and had two different stacks. It's all one tower.
This town deserves a better class of criminal, and I'm going to give it to him. Tell your men they work for me now. This is my city. They won't work for a freak. Oh, freak. Why don't we cut you up into little pieces and feed you to your pooches? Then we'll see how loyal a hungry dog
He puts a little, if you notice, he puts a little Chicago accent on there. He's like, why don't we feed you to your little pooches? He does like a little Chicago thing there.
Yeah.
So I kind of make fun of him for a second.
Everything.
Amazing how he's able to get right into the show, the Mike Ingalls show. It's like he calls right in and gets it immediately. You know how hard it is to call in.
Yeah. It's kind of like the same thing. It's kind of like the same thing Nicholson did back in '89. He just tapped into the cable lines.
Yeah, unless he called the hotline where you can like have a separate number for like celebrity guest call-ins or whatever. He must have had like a direct line or something.
It's basically what was the line that he says in the first movie? Kill the camera. This is Renee on the news floor. Janice, I need some paramedics up here now.
Yeah.
New Pro Joker products with a new secret ingredient. Smiley. Anyway, I'm smiling at the fact that you are watching or listening to the special presentation of what is known as the 15th anniversary celebration of The Dark Knight, starring Christian Bale and directed by the one and only Christopher Nolan. If you are just joining us and want to watch this movie along with us on a physical media or what is known as a streaming service, please feel free to do so. Austin, where are we in the movie?
1:45:15 as Mr. Wayne is taken off in his very inconspicuous Lamborghini through Gotham City.
Much more subtle.
Yes,
so cue up your copy, watch the movie along with us. Let us know your thoughts about it in the comments or the chat below. And if this is your first time here, welcome and thank you so much for being here with us. I'm your host, Ryan of Neuroculture, alongside my esteemed colleague known as Austin here on the panel. And we're very thankful that you are here with us.
Well, and there was another thing that I remember the message boards talking about with to go along with the question mark looking scar is that Kyle Reese, Mr. Reese, people thought he was going to be like a Riddler guy later. This is all a tease kind of thing for a future Riddler. I don't know. People were putting together whatever, and
they were trying to put too much things together. That doesn't make any sense. I see O'Brien and Richards. No immediate family member.
Well, and we did have Catwoman in the third one, if you remember the thing with Lucius Fox, where he's like, "How's it do against dogs?" And he's like, "Might do good against cats." And that's like people are like, "Oh, cats! Oh, they said cats. Catwoman must be the next one." And it's like, I don't think Nolan's mapped out the next one yet. People, I mean, he went on to do. I'm pretty sure he was busy on Inception, which is kind of a big movie that he did right after this. So, he wasn't really thinking about Rises yet.
Nope, he was taking it one film at a time.
Yeah.
Which he should, because
one for you, one for me.
Yep. I believe. Oh gosh, what was it? No, I was thinking of a different movie. That's a little bit later on. But yeah, there are so many that have birthdays next year. I'm trying to think. If I remember correctly, X-Men: Days of Future Past turns 10 next year.
It does.
Because that was in 2014, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, and you've got a lot of movies turning 25 from 99. The Matrix.
With Matrix, yeah.
Yeah, 99 was a great year for movies.
99
was a very, very
2014 had its fair share of movies with X-Men: Days of Future Past and Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Well, if you wanted to get your Star Wars people on there, Phantom Menace 25 next year, If you
Well,
get your prequel apologists, you know, that
it
might
is.
be
I
all
mean,
about it.
it is the only one of the original 3 prequels that I can watch. So I'd
Yeah.
be up for Phantom Menace.
I think Matrix is a sure thing. You got to do the Matrix and maybe Phantom Menace. Those would be two.
Phantom Menace, I'd be up for that because, like I said, I like that one more than episodes 2 and 3. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I mean, you had who was it? You had Darth Maul. You had the triple threat, or not triple. You had the handicap match at the end of the movie with 2 Jedi going up against 1 Sith Lord, and that's never happened before. So that was pretty darn
Yeah.
cool. And you got Duel of the Fates by John Williams.
Mm-hmm.
So I got no problem with that. I
Yeah,
was sitting in Gordon's cage.
84, you got you got Ghostbusters, you got Temple of Doom, you've got Terminator.
Temple of Doom, no thank you.
Temple of Doom's great.
No.
You got the OG Nightmare on Elm Street, you got Karate
Yes.
Kid. Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street's one of the best horror films ever made.
Yeah.
I think. I can't speak for everybody, but wait a minute, wasn't Poltergeist 84?
82.
Darn it. 82. We missed it. What about what was the other one? Poltergeist. When was John Carpenter's The Thing?
82 as well. So just missed that one. Yeah.
Good horror film too. It's actually one of the better ones. So was Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one. I'm talking about the original, not
Dream Warriors is great.
Dream Warriors, yeah. That was part 3, right?
Correct.
Part 3 is good. By the way, did you know that and this is a fun fact for those who may be wondering. Earlier on in the lockdown, I bought the 8-disc DVD set that includes the original 7 Nightmare on Elm Street movies and Freddy vs. Jason as a box set.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and I watched all 8 of them, and I thought, okay, first one's great, second one not so much, third one's good, fourth one's good, and then they kind of lost the way again with 5 and Freddy. What is it? Freddy's Nightmare, whatever. What that was?
New Nightmare. Yeah.
New Nightmare was meta, so that was kind of cool to see some of those actors all grown up. That was cool. And then what was it? The 7th one, I think it was. Can't remember. 7th one wasn't that good. And then Freddy vs. Jason, I was like, hey, this battle royal was all right. It was all right. So, I can get some kick out of that. I took
By the way,
94, and I turned it on yourself.
You got the big 3 Best Picture nominees that have stood the test. You got Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, Shawshank. So,
ooh, good point. Good point. We're in the scene between Harvey Dent and the Joker. What were your insights about these 2 people?
Okay, so Aaron Eckhart has talked about. I saw interviews where he talked about when they were prepping the scene, and they knew they both had rehearsed some things, and they knew exactly how to what notes they were going to hit and all that. But he said beforehand, Heath would just be like pacing around the room, just doing this kind of like, kind of like these grunts, just kind of like pacing back and forth, until like Nolan was ready to go. And then, when he would hit action, then he'd get on his mark and start doing his thing. But just, he said, watching Heath sort of like get into character or whatever was really interesting and kind of creepy, but he said, as soon as, Nolan would say action, I mean, they'd be dead on. I mean, he would hit everything. And again, all the stuff was scripted out, but a lot of these little things he did throughout the scene were, some of the physical things kind of improvised. But yeah, I love that though. You live, you die. Because again, if he dies right here, fine. Like Harvey Dent killed the man, sends him over the edge. Harvey Dent it's done. So that throws the world, Gotham into chaos.
Will you be wanting the Batpodster in the middle of the day, Alfred? Not very subtle. The Lamborghini then, much more subtle.
Stuff like that with him using like the hand sanitizer, like all those kind of things. Like a lot of times Nolan would just film him interacting with stuff.
That was a very brave thing.
But I want to dispel one quick myth. When there's like the pause in between when he pushes the button to detonate, and he kind of like stands there, people are like, "Oh, it didn't work" or whatever. And he went, no, that was all planned, 100%.
Oh, okay.
Part of the scene. It was supposed to kind of be a hesitation sort of thing. Like this thing right here. It's a great shot too, by the way.
Jeez. It's got that Harvey Dent sticker on him and dresses up.
Yeah, no, it's great. Gosh. And he's kind of doing like, it's almost like a little waddle, like he's kind of doing coming out of here. It's good stuff.
Like I said, a very dedicated and haunting performance by this actor, but he did a tremendous job. I mean, you're just captivated by this guy the whole movie. You're creeped out by him. You're scared of him. You don't want to run into him in a back alley somewhere. But I'm telling you, like, as soon as he starts talking, like, even though it's creeping me out and scaring me, like, I'm just, you can't help it. You can't take your eyes off of him. It's just creepy. You know, it's captivating. It's great acting.
Great explosion. Nice big practical explosion. They blew up a real building here. The old hospital is going to be demolished.
Jeez.
Always good when you get a, when they're able to secure like some building that's going to be demolished anyways, and they use it for like a movie or something and just demolish it, blow it up. Lethal Weapon 3 did that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the opening scene.
The opening sequence. Okay.
Yeah, anytime you get something with like that where they're like, oh, we got a hold of something they were going to tear down anyways. Demolition Man, the opening does that too. They got this old
Demolition Man. That's the one where you get fined for cursing, right?
Yeah,
dude, I love that part.
They blew up the old mall at the beginning of that movie. It's a huge explosion.
Yeah, and then they say that Taco Bell is going to be the most popular food chain in the country, and I'm like, no, it's not.
No,
I'll take McDonald's hotcakes and hash browns over Taco Bell any day of the week, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me anyway. I have now being told that we're cutting to a Mike Ingle for Gotham tonight, and that's Heath Ledger with his handheld.
Yeah, it is more of Heath Ledger with his handheld.
That's
And
his
Anthony
camera,
Michael
isn't
Hall Anthony Michael Hall has talked about filming the scene with Heath Ledger kind of acting like the director while he was filming it.
Did he say how creeped out he was filming this?
No, he said dude was like fully in character when they filmed this stuff and didn't know what he was going to do with the handheld camera, or what he was going to kind of comment in between, or if he was going to like touch him and mess with them. All these little things where he's kind of running around. Yeah, he didn't know exactly what he was going to do, but he just knew to kind of read the papers and all that. But yeah, Lucius Fox is not down with the tapping all of Gotham with the sonar stuff.
Yeah, you're down with everything else, but this is where you draw the line.
Yeah, this is where you draw the line. It's like spying on people. Okay, all right.
It's like it's the only way we're going to find the Joker. Desperate times, desperate measures.
But you have no problem financing and providing all a tank to a guy. Yeah. This is such it's my day off. I'm not going out there. It's such a I relate to that.
It's my day off.
The store's burning down. Man, it's my day off. Whatever. Deal with it tomorrow. I appreciate that.
Keep an eye out for me, will you? Now what?
Yeah.
And then Harvey Dent shows up.
Thought you were dead. Half. Yeah, you can see scenes online of him doing this stuff with like the little half green screen cloth on his face and all that kind of stuff. But the effects are good, man. I think this looks pretty damn good.
Are you telling me that you're not going to protect the other traitor in Gordon's unit? I don't know. He never told me. Listen, Dent, I swear to God, I didn't know what they were going to do to you.
I don't know what's going to happen to you either.
That's funny. Because I don't know what's going to happen to you either. Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. Unethical. Dangerous.
Bow ties. How are you on bow ties, Permerson? I don't like them.
I don't like them. I prefer regular ties. That's why I have a whole set of them in my closet.
No, I can tie a regular tie. I've never figured out how to tie a bow tie.
It's too much. It's too much work. Tying a tie is difficult.
Tying a tie is not that hard once you get the hang of it, but tying a bow tie is absurd. I have a clip-on one I use for my wrestling occasionally, but I also have a clip-on one that I use for my Penguin.
Nice.
My Penguin 66. I have a purple one but it's just a clip-on one. It's already made. You just clip it in the back or whatever. But maybe eventually, if you do, something with the Penguin, I'll don my Penguin outfit for one of our things here.
Well, technically, we'd have to wait a couple years to do the 35th anniversary of Batman Returns, but that's one of those movies where it's not a Batman movie; it's a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, and it'd be a while before you can do any kind of anniversary for the 66 movie.
Dude,
so,
I'm not doing one for that. Sorry, # not my Batman. I know. It's
fun though.
It's a TV series. It was of its time, and it was written that way in the comics. But it's like, for me, that's
that series is a good time though, as far as like just a fun, sort of.
I guess. Series. I mean, I did watch Batman the movie as a kid growing up. The '60s movie. That was based off the TV series, like you did. So
Hey, I appreciate the villain work on those shows. I think everybody that played villain on those shows were having a lot of fun.
Well,
They had some good
yeah.
guest stars because Cesar Romero was fun as the Joker. Burgess Meredith is really fun to watch as the Penguin. Frank Gorshin's a lot of fun as Riddler.
And Frank Gorshin plays the antagonist in Meteor Man.
Oh yeah, he does. Meteor Man, another forgotten '90s superhero gem.
Golden Lords.
Yeah, Meteor Man. I definitely rented that from Blockbuster a couple of times when I
Did
was a
you?
kid. Oh yeah, that movie's
Finally,
on TV
and
a
then
lot.
the actor who played Riddler says, "Finally, I get to meet Meteor Man." Well, you've caused me
Meteor Man.
a lot of grief.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Don't stop a cop.
and then
That's my
Cypress
line.
Hill.
That's my line, right? Don't stop for lights, cops, nothing.
Going to
He's so
join your
great.
wife. Oof! Look at that face, man. Look at that
Yeah.
face.
This
Love
is
her.
a good bit where Eric Roberts gets the good flip and he kind of smiles, and then the other guy, he's like, "You're a lucky man, Sally." He's not. Who? Your driver.
He
It's a
made
great
you
bit.
like this. The Joker's just a mad dog.
Mm.
I want whoever let him off the leash.
Mhm.
I took care of Wirtz, but who was your other man inside Gordon's unit? Who picked up Rachel? Must have been someone she trusted.
It was Ramirez.
Look, if I tell you, will you let me go? Can't hurt your chances. It was Ramirez.
Ramirez. No, no. I'm sorry, Ryan. It was Ramirez.
It was. What was that character's name again? It was Ramirez.
Ramirez. No, that's why you get a guy like Eric Roberts in like this little role. Just like he's gonna bring something to the line readings that like I don't know, like it makes it memorable. It's fun.
Ramirez. Your driver's not so lucky though, Austin.
Yeah, I know.
Mm.
That was a hell of a flip though. Harvey's lucky he didn't break some bones in that
I
thing.
know,
though.
seriously. But hey, he did wear a seatbelt.
Yeah, but that doesn't always guarantee you're not gonna get messed up.
That's true. Why did I get to be on the boat?
Yeah.
You want to ride across with them? Be my guest. By the way, this is going to be coming up here a little bit later, or not a little bit later, but coming up here somewhat momentarily. This third act sequence on the boats with the two different groups of people was stretched out way too long. They could have cut this scene by 15 minutes, if not 10.
I think what it is when you watch the movie, you've had all this stuff happen. You're almost as an audience member kind of exhausted by this point, because we had like the hospital sequence, which was a big one. We've had all this stuff, and it's like, yeah, and then we get this sort of weird jigsaw game or whatever, and it's just like, yeah, you're kind of ready for the movie to just sort of wrap up now. But I mean, it does, but it's just one of those things where you're just kind of at an exhaustion point here because there's been so much that's happened and so much going on. There's to my boy Debo, Sonny Lister. Debo from Friday, man.
That, and I also remember him as Zeus from No Holds Barred with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. He wrestled for a little bit as Zeus on like SummerSlam and stuff.
On WWE, right?
He sure did. Yeah, he worked matches with Hogan.
Yeah.
And then
wait a minute, Hogan? Don't you mean Thunderlip or
Thunderlips? Yeah,
Thunderlips.
And then he went to WCW and worked Hogan again as Z Gangsta.
Oh, geez, is that what that was his character name back in WCW? Okay.
Yeah, because they couldn't use Zeus because Zeus was copyrighted.
Trademark.
But again, a cool little. Tiny Lister always played like a prisoner or something, or like a gang guy, or he kind of like Danny Trejo. He just always played one of those characters in every movie. Yeah. But still, it makes it memorable because you recognize him, and even if you don't know his name, you recognize him because Tiny Lister's been in a million things, so you know who he is, and he stands out in the crowd obviously because he's like 7 feet tall. He's a giant man. But yeah, it's fun stuff.
But yeah, this whole boat thing was stretched out way too long.
Well, I think you could have, I get the point of it because the point of it is that they don't, the people still have a humanity to them and they don't,
right.
Blow up the other boat. So I get where they're going with it, but yeah, they probably could have gotten to it a little bit quicker, overall.
Who's it gonna be? Harvey Dent's Most Wanted Scumbag Collection, or the Sweet and Innocent Civilians? People on the other boat might not be so noble.
The guy with the trigger on the prisoner boat looks familiar too. He's been in some other stuff. That guy too. That guy's been in a bunch of stuff. The guy who is like, I'll do it. Nobody wants to get their hands dirty. Like, I'll do it. Like he looks familiar too. I know he's been in movies.
It's like Tony Perkis says in Heavyweights. All right, let's go get our hands dirty.
Let's get our hands dirty.
Freak out. No. You listen to me. If I don't get a 50,000 unit pre-sale in this video, my ass is wheatgrass.
Hey, they filmed that movie at a summer camp about 10 minutes from my house, right?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I did a Facebook video where I snuck on to the camp in the off season and filmed some stuff there.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, send me the link, man. I want to see that.
I had to dig into my Facebook archives. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere there.
Oh, dude, you gotta find that for me.
Yeah, I went with my mom, and it was like middle of November or something, so there's nobody there because it's a summer camp. But I went and filmed the lake where they had the blob, and then there's a big kind of courtyard area where they do all the exercise sequences and where they have the food orgy or whatever.
We're Perkisizing.
So you can see it because it's like this slanted kind of courtyard, and it's very familiar. Like you can tell that's where it is. And I filmed some stuff there, and then also in Asheville they have the Biltmore, estate which is the Rich family estate from Richie Rich. And it's also been in a bunch of other movies, American President and stuff. My fellow Americans, but Richie Rich, it's the Rich family estate or whatever. And I filmed a video there because there's a place where they're looking at over the fountain and stuff, planning their heist or whatever they're doing at the end of that movie. And there's all kinds of locations. Filming. Okay, and they just wrapped up filming a movie at that same camp up the street from my house and my grocery store I work at. There's a movie that's going to come out next year. I mean, it may not come out next year with all this strike stuff, but it's done filming. But it has Kathy Bates, Diane Keaton, and Alfre Woodard, and they were making like a summer camp thing where apparently I found an article where the premise is they go back to this summer camp where they went as kids and have like a reunion thing or something, whatever. But the catering guy came into my store every morning and bought ice and water and snacks every single morning for like a month. So I got to talk to him for a minute about what was going on. So, but they apparently were filming at that same Heavyweights camp.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, dude. You got a lot of famous locales around you.
Yeah, well, it's just a couple of specific ones in Hendersonville, North Carolina. There's also an area called Chippewa Falls where they filmed one sequence for the Hunger Games up there.
Chippewa Falls. Yeah. Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, there's a sequence in the Hunger Games where PETA camouflages himself against the rocks and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's a place called Chippewa Falls, which you can hike to, which is only about 20 minutes from my house.
Really?
I hiked there before too, yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
And then every year there's a screening of Dirty Dancing because there's another area north of me where they filmed a lot of Dirty Dancing, a lot of the outdoor sequences. So yeah, there's been some movies up around here with some of the nature areas they filmed. But Heavyweights, when they did it in 95, they rented out the whole of the Days Inn up the road and rented out the entire hotel for the kids.
Dude, that's and yes, we are going to be doing it later on in a couple of years. We are going to do a 30th anniversary watch along for Heavyweights, one of the best comedies ever made.
Heavyweights is amazing. I love it.
I mean, those of you from Western Pennsylvania probably know my father, Tony Perkis Sr., the lighting fixture king. All the lights you'll see around this camp have been donated by him. But I'm going to do old Dad one better. I'm not going to give you a light. I'm going to show you the light. Anyway, with that being said,
I eat success for breakfast with skim.
One of the cheesy, so cheesy but man, I'm telling you,
Ben Stiller is amazing in that movie. He's so good.
Got ripped for that role, man.
And I like to think, Ryan, and in my head, that Dodgeball is a spiritual sequel to Heavyweights
because he plays,
because my theory goes as this. Tony Perkis at the end of that movie is discredited. He has to go kind of into hiding. He almost goes into I think his dad helped him change his name and kind of go underground, but he still was obsessed with fitness and everything. So he changed his name. He became Dwight Goodman. He's still obsessed with fitness. Eventually opens up a new gym and just becomes
Globo Gym.
a gym proprietor. But he's basically Tony Perkis with a new name. I like that. So I like to think the Dodgeball is a spiritual sequel because it's a very similar performance too. So
Yeah,
I like
because
to think
here at
he's
Globo
pretty
Gym, we're
comparable.
better than you, and we know it.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll have to when we do that 2 years from now, I'll have to bust out my Purkis Power T-shirt.
dude, oh please do, for the love of Pete.
I have a Purkis Power T-shirt.
I hate you
And
so
on,
bad
on
right
the
now.
back, it has the legit thing where it says I'm Perkisizing.
Dude, I hate you so much for that. But anyway, aside from that,
Anyways,
we are
aside of
enjoying,
that,
or at least
no,
attempting to enjoy,
we're still watching this boat sequence, which is still going on.
which is going on 30 minutes later. For those of you just
forever.
joining us and wondering what the heck is going on, we are celebrating what is known as the 15th, I should say, anniversary of The Dark Knight, directed by Christopher Nolan.
All heavyweights tangents aside.
Yeah, starring Christian Bale as well as Heath Ledger and everyone else. We are celebrating the movie. If you have any thoughts about this movie or anything concerning the character of Batman or the DC universe otherwise, please let us know by all means in the comments or the live chat. If you are joining us live on the replay, thank you so much for being here. Where are we in the film, Austin?
About 2 hours, 8 minutes, 15 seconds or so. Yeah, we're into the part where Batman hooks up all the SWAT team guys with the one cable and kind of hangs them out the side over there. This little chain reaction.
It's crazy that he's able to do that with so many people in that flipping building. But anyhow,
yeah, right.
He's Batman because he has high-tech toys. That's his point.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, so we are enjoying The Dark Knight, and it is getting very serious. And now Harvey has taken Jim Gordon's family hostage, and Gordon has rushed off to attempt to rescue them. Look at all those guys just getting carried off the building like that.
Those guys slamming into the side of that building after they get off there. That's going to break some bones.
Yeah, I was going to say, are any of them still alive or fully functional after this? I don't know. And then he takes his grappling hook and goes all the way. See, be advised, clowns are hostages. The doctors are targets.
Yeah.
That's how clever the Joker was with his whole plan. And now he's got the dogs as his warning system. Ah, you made it. I'm so thrilled. Where's the detonator?
Damn, he just swatted that dog like right off the balcony there.
I guess he killed him.
I
would assume so, wouldn't he? Look at the Joker. He's trying to get in on this too because the dogs are doing their part. Now he's attempting to do his.
Well, he's got to do what he can because he can't like one-on-one legit hold his own against Batman, straight up in a fight. But
he's got a lead pipe though.
Yeah, he's wailing on him with a pipe. Yeah,
which is reminiscent of the comics. Because Joker did that to Robin. Well, he is.
Tiny Lister's going to go into action. Look at that mountain of a man right there. Rest in peace, by the way. He passed away about 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened to him?
I think he passed away with a heart attack or something like that.
Very sad.
But yeah, he was in his late 60s or something.
Yeah.
But,
he had a lot of movies, or should I say, media appearances under his belt.
He's been in a ton. He makes a lot of quick appearances too. He's in like Goldmember.
Oh, he's in Goldmember?
Yeah.
He's in the prison. Yeah.
But before the musical sequence, he stands up and goes, "Hey, man." And then goes on, "Crack that makes more sense than you."
That's interesting.
He's in the 2 Friday movies. Yeah, he's he did a bunch of stuff.
Make any sense for us to have to die too, says the man, the businessman.
Yeah.
So he's going to turn the key. He's got that suit.
I was trying to find that guy because he looks familiar too. That dude.
All the old familiar players. Well, Batman's helmet is gone. It's gone haywire. Out, Fox. Stand by.
Stand by. It's like, no, I can't stand by. He's hitting me with a pipe right now.
Oh man. Just puts that piece of metal or top of that window on top of him.
Yeah.
Floor secure. The hostages are safe. Give it to me. You can tell them I took it by force.
I'll do what you should have did 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago. Give me the key.
Yeah. He's got that like lazy eye. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. He just threw it out the window.
I know.
He tossed it. Says, I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it, man. There's humanity in us yet. Even though the Joker tried to break us, he's not going to break us. We really should stop this fighting otherwise.
There won't be any fireworks.
There won't be any fireworks. And here we go. Isn't that your favorite line there?
Well, that's what. My favorite line coming up is what he says. Madness is like gravity. All it takes is a little push. It's a great line.
Yeah, it's true. And it's true.
True. It's true.
Madness is madness. It's like the Macho Man in Madness. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
He
rest in
was gonna
peace.
turn the key, yeah, but he didn't do it. He put it back in the box, yeah.
Man, that guy must have lost his voice so many times cutting those
Oh my
promos.
god, I lose my voice just doing the impression for 2 seconds, much less like a whole promo.
What were you trying to prove? That deep down everyone's as ugly as you? You're alone.
Oh yeah, this city just proved, baby, they're not as crazy as you are. Yeah.
Can't rely on anyone these days. You got to do everything yourself. Don't we? That's okay. I came prepared. It's a funny world we live in. Speaking of which, you know how I got these scars? No, but I know how you got these.
I love the fact that he laughs all the way down though, like he's gonna die. It's pretty great.
Kind of like what, well, no, Nicholson didn't laugh when he fell, but at the end, his little toy did the laughing.
Yeah, they had a really forced callback to that in the Flash.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when
No spoilers.
Other Goofy Barry goes like, "What's this thing?" and it's his little laughing thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You couldn't just let me go, could you? This is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object.
Hey, they stole that from WrestleMania 3 with Gorilla Monsoon.
That's true.
Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan. The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
That's true. That's true. Out of the misplaced sense of self-righteousness. And I won't kill you because you're just too much fun. I think you and I are destined to do this forever. That's got to be a callback to the comics.
Yeah.
It'll be in a padded cell forever.
Unfortunately, this is the last scene we would ever see is with the Joker's Heath Ledger.
This city just showed you that's full of people ready to believe in good
until their spirits break completely, until they get a good look at the real Harvey Dent and all the heroic things he's done. You think I'd risk losing the battle for Gotham's soul in a fist fight with you? No. You need an ace in the hole. Mine's Harvey. What did you do? I took Gotham's White Knight and I brought him down to our level.
I'll take a little push. And then that's it. That's all we get of Heath Ledger. Yeah, unfortunately.
In the documentaries and other interviews, if he hadn't died, I believe Chris Nolan was going to bring him back in some capacity, but then again, after he died, he didn't want to disrespect the actor's memory, so it was just best to have him be locked up in a padded cell in Arkham.
It was theorized he was going to play like a Hannibal Lecter type role, where he was going to be locked up, but they might have had some scenes with him, talking about what's going on, and we would have at least checked in on him, you know what I mean, like and done something with him. But yeah, it's because it's unfortunate because I think. If you hadn't killed Harvey here, I think you could have done something with Two-Face in the next one too. I don't think they were looking ahead that far, and they were kind of a little short-sighted with the Two-Face thing because you could have used him as an interesting side villain in the next one as well.
I was shocked. I was shocked that they kill off Harvey Dent here.
And Burton was like that too because he kills Joker in Batman '89. He kills Penguin in Batman Returns. And then Schumacher, Two-Face dies in the Schumacher one. Yeah, it's like, don't kill the villains. Keep them around in case you need them again.
Harvey Dent's one of the more interesting villains.
Yeah, don't kill you. Don't be too quick to kill your villain.
You're about to know what it feels like, Gordon.
Yeah.
By the way, Aaron Eckhart, I think, did
really good in this.
As Harvey Dent, he was great, and then when he became Two-Face, he was even better.
He's really scary as Two-Face.
He is. He just brought it,
Well, he's just like, we have a winner, and he like pulls the kid out and just like, yeah, he's really mad here.
So
please stop pointing that gun at my family.
So put the gun down. Put the gun down, Harvey. Harvey, put down the gun. Please, Harvey, please.
Point that gun at my family.
Stop pointing like, man, it's getting real serious up in here, guys. And for those of you,
real serious.
why so serious?
Um,
Harvey, I'm sorry for everything.
Gary Oldman, by the way, has one scene in Oppenheimer
Oh, interesting.
playing another historical figure. He plays Truman for a scene.
Oh, he plays Truman.
Yeah, he plays Truman for one.
Is there anything Gary Oldman can't do? I mean, the guy's been playing.
I'm
so many different
convinced he could.
characters
I'm
for
convinced
50
he could
years.
play. I'm convinced he could play anybody, pretty much. And I haven't been proven wrong yet. I think he can play just about anybody.
I heard. Granted, I haven't seen the movie yet, so I can't comment or speculate on this. But I heard somewhere that they're going to put RDJ, Robert Downey Jr., as a front runner for Best Supporting Actor.
He definitely could be. Yeah, he's very good in Oppenheimer, and
Okay.
he's that the things coming out of Oppenheimer is RDJ for supporting, and obviously Cillian Murphy for
Best Lead Actor in a Motion
he's
Picture.
He's very, very good. He's excellent.
Yeah,
So,
I think they called this past weekend. It was called Barbieheimer.
Barbenheimer.
Yeah, Barbie, that's terrible. That's terrible.
It worked.
It worked. It's a good marketing ploy, but at the same time, I'm thinking I would rather watch Oppenheimer than ever see a Barbie movie.
It worked though, because both movies combined made over $300 million on the box office.
That's true. Did you see? Are you going to see Barbie though?
I saw it already. Yeah.
Oh, how was it? Was it terrible?
It's a mixed bag. It's
mixed bag.
They didn't show anything from the second half, and for a reason. It's a complete bait and switch movie. But
Oh, really?
that's a whole other topic for another day. But yeah.
Yeah, but this whole speech here between Batman and Two-Face and who is it, Commissioner Gordon, this is getting very serious, fellas. Pointing at people responsible, not the kid. Fair enough.
First.
Right here. You first.
I like that he does one for himself though.
Mm-hmm. Because
That's really fascinating. Because what if he had flipped that? He would have killed himself.
My turn.
Yeah.
Flips a coin. Gets good heads on that one, I believe.
Yeah.
And Harvey, you're right. You're right. Rachel's death.
Chance is fair. He's not wrong.
Don't punish the boy. Please punish him. I'm about to, Gordon.
Some creepy music from Hans Zimmer, by the way, in the scene.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Tell your boy he's going to be all right, Gordon. Lie. Like I lied. Getting towards the end of the movie here, if I'm not mistaken, aren't we, Austin?
Oh, yeah. We've only got a few more minutes. About 5 minutes.
Oh,
off the end they go.
Wow. Dent.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. Because then the coin lands up. So people also, I remember speculating, being like, yeah, but the coin landed up. He's not really dead. Because, see, the coin landed heads up.
It's true.
I
didn't even think of that.
But then I think, obviously when Rises starts and there's like a funeral, it's like, oh, okay, I guess he's not coming back. oh well. Poor Aaron Eckhart. He probably could have used the role at that point.
Man, and Batman just fell like, what, 20, 30 feet?
Well, yeah, but he fell off a 50-story building earlier and was fine. So, I mean, he's got a hell of an army on there.
Dude, the physicality all this stuff now, it really makes sense in why he's so out of shape in Dark Knight Rises. Because he never got himself checked out.
But he falls off of everything here in this movie.
Yeah, and he never got himself medically cleared.
He's falling off of like 3-story buildings, 10-story buildings, 40-story buildings. He's falling all over. He's jumping on cars. He's getting thrown around. He's getting hit with lead pipes. He's getting attacked by dogs.
The Joker won. Harvey's prosecution, everything he fought for, undone. Whatever chance you gave us at fixing our city, it dies with Harvey's reputation.
Ryan, did you ever see the Kevin Conroy reading of this?
No.
Rob Paulson had a podcast at one point, and where he interviewed a bunch of voice actors.
Yeah.
There's a clip online, you can find it, and somebody edited it with the music of the scene.
Ooh, really?
Where Kevin Conroy was reading this Batman monologue, and Rob Paulson was reading like the Gordon parts or whatever.
Really?
And it's great. It's him doing his Batman thing, but reading this part, and then somebody edited in the music, and it's great. It's really
I gotta look that up, man.
You gotta look that up. It's awesome.
Gotham needs its true hero.
There's stuff online with Mark Hamill reading some Ed Ledger stuff from this movie. It's good stuff.
You either die a hero, or you can live long enough to see yourself become the villain. a lot of the statements that are made in this movie, yes, they're made in the context of the film, but they're also true in real life.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of like, what don't you think this film was trying to be? I mean, this film was like trying to be brutally honest about crime and reality.
Yeah.
You know, I'm whatever Gotham needs me to be. Call it in. And for him to take the fall for all of this, I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
He's not the hero we deserved, but the hero we needed. Nothing less than a knight shining. They'll hunt you. You'll hunt me. Dude, this whole scene is like so epic too.
Yeah, this whole little montage, this final thing.
When he breaks the signal and like destroys Batman's, like that's very ominous. Because that's what needs to happen. And then, by the way, not Gordon, what's his face? Alfred burning the letter.
Yeah.
I don't think he needed to do that. Because he reveals it to him in the third film. You know? And Lucius entered his name into the computer system there.
Yep. So he doesn't have to resign.
Doesn't have to do it anymore.
Call it in.
A lot of people call this one of the best endings in a film or one of the best monologues in a film. A lot of people have said that.
It's a very good, like, edited sort of, wrap up thing. It's really good. Again, with the music, with the voiceover. It's good stuff. Yeah.
He didn't do anything wrong. Because he's the hero Gotham deserves, but not the one it needs right now. So we'll hunt him.
He can take it.
Because he can take it. He's got his bat cycle. Because he's not our hero.
And who better to deliver the final lines than Gary freaking Oldman? You know what I mean?
He's a genius, man.
Yeah, he's the best.
He's great, isn't he?
Watchful protector.
He's a silent guardian. A watchful protector.
Dum, 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 dum.
Someone's doing a lot of reenactments and singing or humming, I should say.
I can, hey, this score is great. I could pump it into this movie. It's good stuff. Yeah,
probably could. But that brings us to the end credit sequence of what is known as The Dark Knight in celebration of its 15th anniversary spectacular. Austin, what are your final thoughts on this movie? And on a scale of 1 to 10, what are you going to give this motion picture?
It's for years it was. I think for a lot of people it was like a 10 out of 10. I mean, a lot of people thought this was not only one of the greatest comic movies ever, but a lot of people's, became a lot of people's favorite movie, became a lot of people's, like I said, benchmark as to what they would rank a lot of other things to get. Over the years, again, I've come to warm up to a lot of other movies as well, but it doesn't mean that this isn't still a movie that I can sit and pop on and get invested into this world and get invested into these characters over and over again, especially as a trilogy, as a whole, and put them on back to back. So, I see the little, why some people have Begins as their favorite of the trilogy or Rises as their favorite of the trilogy and things like that. I would probably still put this as my favorite, but it's mostly because of the performances, because the way everything that Nolan's able to weave together in this movie with all the different threads. I do see the flaws, that point out. We've pointed out a few here that, the Hong Kong sequence is kind of a take it or leave it sequence. It does get a little long-winded by the end. You're kind of, and mostly just because, like I said, you're a little bit exhausted by the end of the movie. By the time you get to the ferry sequence and some of the stuff in the building, it's just not as exciting as some of the earlier ones. So it kind of gets there, but it wins you back with the stuff with Two-Face at the end, and that final wrap up is great. So it's like a solid 9.5. I mean, it doesn't knock it a lot because I can forgive a lot of those things when there's so much greatness in between and so much so many highs throughout this whole movie. I mean, there's so many high points that it makes up for any kind of the faults. But I do agree when you go back and look at the lineup of Best Picture nominees from that year. I think you could have slid Dark Knight in here over one or two of the other ones. Heath Ledger certainly, I think, deserved his both nomination and win. And yeah, I think it's still a pretty masterful movie, and certainly still one of Nolan's best. And yeah, I wouldn't fault anybody for saying such.
Yeah, I can totally see that. And for me, I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. There's still some, like I said, I think the fairy sequence is too long for me. I think some things could have been trimmed, some things could have been taken out. Also, I really wish, and I know that Chris Nolan wasn't thinking about this at the time, but I do wish we would have gotten more Two-Face, because to have this origin story and then have him have these one or two big pivotal scenes featuring his character as Two-Face and then just kill him off, in the last 2 minutes.
Again, I think it was just, they weren't looking to the long one. I think even at one point, Nolan didn't even want to do a third one at one point. He just wanted to end on this one with,
he was done.
Kind of the openness of, he said he kind of done everything he could with the character in his mind. And then, of course, obviously this movie was a monstrous hit. I mean, this movie made all the money. Everybody like me saw this movie multiple. Like I told you, I saw this movie 7 times in the theater. I mean, I was not alone in that. People were seeing this movie over and over. It was in
10,
theaters
20
for months. This movie was in theaters for like 4 or 5 months. I remember just being hanging around forever. There was a couple of those last couple of showings was like, hey, I got nothing to do this week. It's been 4 weeks since I watched The Dark Knight. It's still in theaters. I'm going to go watch it this afternoon. And then just go to the theater and watch it because it just hung around for forever. But yeah, it has sustained its legacy as, even if you don't love it, it has certainly sustained its reputation as still being one of the best, sort of comic book movies, out there. So, whether or not you like it as the top of the trilogy or where you put it overall, it still holds a place as a very important.
Yeah. I mean, it's still an important movie, but for me, like I said, I really like this movie. I respect it a lot. Heath Ledger gave a great performance. Rest in peace, Heath Ledger. And one of the best comic book movies ever made. Certainly one of the best assembled casts in the history of a comic book movie I think has ever been put on film. So yeah, those are my final thoughts on The Dark Knight. I think it's a great film. I think it still holds up. 15 years later, it definitely holds up. Definitely something that every single comic book fan, or even if you're just a Batman fan, you need to watch this. Check it out. Check out the whole trilogy. Me personally, I enjoy Batman Begins as my. I think that's my favorite of the trilogy, but it's not a knock because there's no right or wrong answer. All 3 installments, and I do mean this, all 3 installments of this trilogy are great in their own special way. And there's no right or wrong way to rate them, grade them, critique them, feel them out, watch them, experience them. I mean, really, you can watch any of these movies any day of the week, twice on Sunday, and still enjoy the living heck out of them to a certain degree. I mean, granted, The Dark Knight's pretty depressing. I mean, The Dark Knight Rises to a certain degree is depressing too, but at least it has a hopeful ending at the end. But Dark Knight is it is a dark, depressing film that I don't know if I would go back to as much as I would go back to films like Batman Begins and Dark Knight Rises and Batman '89 with Jack Nicholson. So, but hey, that's my 2 cents. But I want to take this opportunity to say thank you for joining us. Whether this is your first time here, or if you've been with us since the beginning, we thank you so much for being here. Austin, thank you for being here, kind sir. We could not do this without you. Where can the person watching or listening to this follow you on social media and everything that you have coming down the line?
Mostly over on the Movie Hero Network. You can search Movie Hero Network here on YouTube. Myself and my buddy Jordan Anderson hosts a lot of shows over there. We've got tournament fights, tier ranker fights, Seen and Heard Trivia, which Ryan has been a part of several times. And yeah, other things. We got a podcast about movies. We've got the Lonely Marks Wrestling podcast. We've got Podcast League Now, all kinds of different shows on there on the Movie Hero Network. Several shows a week, in fact. So lots of content over there. The Schmodown Friends and Family group on Facebook you can join, and we post a lot of links to shows. Ryan sends us a lot of his links for everything he's got going on. So it's a good way to keep up with things as well. But yeah, mostly the Movie Hero Network, and follow us over there. Appreciate it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here, Austin. We do greatly appreciate it. My name is Ryan of Neuroculture. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RyanRPM5. All the links to where you can follow us are located within the description of this video and our past videos too. So Movie University Watchalongs, my goodness, these have been so fun, and we're going to continue to enjoy them and put them here on our channel for you. Our next ones that are coming up soon are, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, also in the month of August. So we have August 11th, Searching for Bobby Fischer turns 30. And then
Oh
August
wow, that was a frequent rental when I was a kid from Blockbuster as well. That was a freaking cable watch.
well, then you and I are gonna have to sit down and watch this together.
Oh boy.
And then August 21st, we have the 25th anniversary of the Marvel film known as Blade. Blade turns 25 on August the 21st, and that to me is one of the more enjoyable comic book movies. So giddy up, partners. It's going to be happening in the month of August. That's when our next few watch-alongs are going to be. After that, we're still determining a few other ones, but I do know we have plans for certain titles that I can't discuss as of yet, but it's going to be very exciting. So yeah, this has been fun. Thank you, Austin, for being here. Thank you who may be watching or listening to this right now. Whether you're joined us live or on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell to get notified when our new videos go up. And in the meantime, stay healthy, stay strong, stay safe, and remember, life is better when watching movies with friends or family. Take a look.
Where do we begin?
A year ago, these cops and lawyers wouldn't dare cross any of you. I mean, what happened?
So what are you proposing?
It's simple. Kill the Batman. Here's my card.
Bruce, this is Harvey Dent.
Rachel's told me everything about you.
I certainly hope not. You once told me that we'd be together. Did you mean it?
Bruce, don't make me your only hope for normal life.
You're Alfred, right?
That's right, sir.
Any psychotic ex-boyfriends I should be aware of?
Oh, you have no idea.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're tonight's entertainment. Well, hello, beautiful. You look nervous.
I've seen now it would have to become to stop men like him.
The night is darkest just before the dawn. And I promise you, the dawn is coming.
And here we go.
This city deserves a better class of criminal. And I'm gonna give it to him. No! You'll see. I'll show you.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Be wanting the back putt, sir?
In the middle of the day, Alfred? Not very subtle.
The Lamborghini, then.
Much more subtle.
All right, I'm a little tired, I'm a little wired, and I think I deserve a little appreciation.